Well, you know what I always say. If there ain't technical difficulties, it ain't a Montotech stream. If it all starts smoothly, you're in the wrong place. And with that said, I'm sick. I'm sick, both literally and figuratively. I'm sick of all these handhelds that are doing new things. PlayStation Vita, touchpads on the back, touchpad on the front, twin sticks. It's too new. Minecraft, too new. They're all doing new things. What's up with this? They're all doing new things. The I'm Thor. It's all too new. We got to go back to the classics. We need to return to form. And we got the Retroid Pocket G2, which I have come to call the Retroid Pocket 5 Plus. It also has a little grip on it. But we need to go back. And that's why we're going to take a look at the G2 today. So with that said, welcome to the stream. It's G2 time. I'm your host, G2 Montotech. And we got a lot on the docket today. Producer, you know what to do. First up, make the stream work. Took me about 15 minutes, but I made it work, and we're here. I see the chat. The Retroid Banana. So you're seeing what I'm seeing. Step 2. Summon the Retroid Pocket G2. We summoned it. I accidentally summoned a grip, and I summoned an audio cable that was giving me trouble before the stream. So that's the price that we're gonna pay. Is the audio is gonna be a little weird today. So I hope you're. I said I'm sick too. I'm putting my body on the line for this one. Step 3, we're gonna play some games. We got a lot of games to play. I got some Gamehub, I got some Switch, maybe some 3DS. I haven't set that up yet, but I meant to put it. I might be missing a couple games. It'll be mostly Gamehub and Switch. And then some other stuff in the mix too. Maybe a little Gamecube, maybe a little PS2, TBD. Step 4, Retroid Pocket G2 World Tour. We're going to take a break from games, and we're going to take a world tour of the Retroid Banana. It looks familiar. Looks like a Retroid Pocket 5. Because it basically is. But we're still going to take a look at it. Step 5. Yeah. What are you doing? Get back to gaming, old man. Stop jibber jabbering. Get back to gaming. And step 6, it's closing time. You know the deal. What up, Don Productions? What up, Wonelli? You're beautiful. And you know what else is beautiful? My producer, who's right off screen. And they're going to send it to the overhead. Producer, please do the honor. Ka-chow. We're in the overhead. We're in the mix. Check it out. It's a little blown out. Let's throw on some chill vibes and just talk through what the flip is the Retroid Pocket G2. So you may or may not know of this device, but it was announced by Retroid on the same exact day as the Retroid Pocket 6. A bold move, and one that I would only expect from Retroid and maybe Ambernick, and probably Powkitty. Those are the 3 wildcard companies who would do something like this, undercut their own announcement of the Retroid Pocket 6. So, needless to say, where's the Retroid Pocket 6? Well, the Retroid Pocket 6 is not coming until like December at the earliest, probably January. So for the time being, they kind of gave us a mid-cycle refresh in the final hour of the cycle. So it's not really a mid-cycle refresh. It's kind of just like a Hail Mary at the last second. And then they called it the Retroid Pocket G2, like it's something new, but it's really not that new. So I've come to call it the Retroid Pocket 5 Plus, because that's basically what it is. It's a Retroid Pocket 5. It literally fits the exact same everything. It has the exact same entire like body, speakers, controls, display. Everything is the exact same except for the processor. And the processor is a Snapdragon G2. What is that? I don't really know. It's one of the newer ones. It's kind of like there was the G1, I think, in this one, and then the G2 in here, and then there's the G3, which is like the highest tier. So this is kind of like a mid tier, but it's actually pretty powerful. I've tested out some games on it, and I've found it to be kind of like in the upper tier of in between the Retroid Pocket 5 and the Iron Thor with the Snapdragon G2, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. So this is sort of like in the upper range of in between those. So it's not quite the 8 Gen 2, which is also in the Retroid Pocket 6. So they really did just like put themselves in a weird situation where the lifespan of this thing might not be as long as we want it to be. If they released this 6 months ago, people would be having a blast. But it's kind of just a Christmas Hail Mary, and then they're going to be in Retroid Pocket 6 world with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, which is a fantastic chip, and it's also on Thor. Anyways, checking out chat. Vegan pot tart, not gonna lie, those colors on the G2, dude. So that's another thing, by the way, is the colors on the G2 were pretty sweet. They have like your regular kind of Retroid-y colors, and then they also did 2 colors, one turquoise and then one yellow, just like the Switch Lite. So that's kind of what I was really interested in, is just getting a more powerful Retroid Pocket 5 in a new color, and essentially just shelving the Retroid Pocket 5 in favor of a better one. And excuse me a moment, tactical cat extraction. The cat has been tactically extracted. So that's kind of the overview of the G2. It's basically just a Retroid Pocket 5 Plus. And with kind of a new chipset. Anyways, let me turn this down a little bit for the vibe music. Anyways, what front end do we have here? So this is the console launcher, and it's a front end that I first discovered on the Iron Thor. It's a pretty cool one. Has like background music and everything. That's not the background music you're hearing right now, but it's got like a really nice sleek vibe to it, and you can like, it's kind of like a emulation station, but a little bit more Nintendo-y. Also, emulation station was kind of bugging out for me when I was trying to install new themes. So that's something with this chipset that I've been noticing, is like certain things are just kind of like not quite working the way that I want it to, because, you know, new chipset and all that. Error loading themes. I don't know, could be a user error, but yeah. So been kind of noodling around with this thing for the last day, and yeah, figured we could check it all out together. Anyways, checking out chat. G3 on the Conquer. Yup. The Conquer, they really should start shipping those. I didn't order one, but I know a lot of people that did. So waiting patiently on Ion to ship any one of their products. Just any one of them would be great. If they could just go ahead and ship it. You know, that's the you know, the Iron promise. It's kind of like it's like Christmas, but you never know when it's gonna happen. You know, it'll just show up one day. Anyways, so first on the list, I would like to show you a little bit of Gamehub. I know Gamehub has been pretty hot lately, and I've been having a blast checking out some different games. I got 4 on the docket, and up first, we got the obligatory Hollow Knight Silksong. Now, one thing that I was trying to figure out is how to set a controller style per game, or per like app. And I couldn't quite figure it out yet. Still kind of messing around, but I'd love to, you know, learn how to do that. If you hear a little bit of static, that's the audio issue I was trying to deal with before stream. Let me zoom in a little bit for you here. There we go. Got the stats at the bottom there. Let me adjust the power rate correction. And let me know if there's anything else that's kind of buggy on stream. I am sick physically, so if you hear me sniffling, that is not a bug. That's a feature of me right now. Oh, it didn't load in my save for some reason. Kind of weird. Let's see if it can load in my save. That's a little sus. Let me see what's going on there. Oh, it's in lightweight mode. Okay, we gotta fix that. Now it should load up. And let me know if you want to see any specific games tested on this stream. I got a couple teed up that we're gonna check out. You know, the usuals. And but if you want to check out anything specific on the G2, let me know. So we're running Hollow Knight Silksong in Gamehub Lite, the latest version of Gamehub Lite. I know it's nothing too crazy demanding, but it's a fantastic game. So you know we got to do it to them. There we go. About 38 hours in game. That sounds about right. TN to BMX. Grip looks gorgeous. Is it really comfortable? Yes, I am in love with this grip. The Retroid Pocket 5 grip, and it's the same one as the Retroid Pocket 5 grip, but I also got it on the Retroid Pocket 5 too. Real smudgy screen, and I got some like little grip toppers for this too. But this grip I think is a necessity for the Retroid Pocket 5 and G2, which kind of replaces the 5 in my opinion. It really feels like a 5+, something to just kind of like shelve the 5. And but yeah, the grip makes it extremely comfortable in my opinion. It really takes the comfort from like a 5 to like an 8, maybe like an 8.5. It's really rad. So let me make sure that we have native rendering force enabled. Yep. Frame rate 60 because it's a 60 hertz screen. Usually I would turn on HDR2 if I wasn't recording. HDR makes it look like really good. We are looking a little bit dark though, so let me boost that up. And let's go to somewhere that it's got a little action going on. JH, what's the difference between Gamehub Lite and the regular version? The Gamehub Lite actually lets you it doesn't require you to make a Gamehub account. You can just like open up the app and start playing. So that's kind of the big benefit. And there's less telemetry and all that stuff, or like tracking, and so it's just better overall. It's for the most part. I mean, it's always going to be one slight step behind the main releases in terms of just like overall stuff, because it's always going to be kind of like chasing that. But I think that, you know, just not having to create an account and, you know, not being tracked and everything like that, I'm totally fine with. And it's also more lightweight and sometimes performs better, but it all kind of depends. All right, let's go to Granville Way. Yeah, let's see if we can get a little audio going. I was getting some staticky sound on the audio, and then I tried to just put a filter over it to solve the problem, but I think the filter is a little too aggressive. Let me try and noodle around with that. Yeah, it might be a little better. See me get my cheeks clapped. That's probably a skill issue. I haven't played this in a minute. All right, so we're getting a little bit of like initial stutters. I still can't believe that people, when this game first came out, were like, "Oh, it's not a, you know, it's just about as hard as Hollow Knight 1. You know, it's not too bad. It's just that Hollow Knight 1 was out longer, so it's you know, very, very much the exact same difficulty." How many of y'all have played Silk Song so far? Is it like still, are people still playing it? I feel like a lot of the hype has just kind of died down. A little bit washed out looking. Let me show you what HDR looks like, by the way. So HDR adds a little more contrast and a little more saturation to the whole vibe. It's pretty cool. I think it looks really nice. So one thing that I do like about having more power with the Retroid Pocket 5, I think on paper it says that it's like twice as powerful as the Pocket 5 or something like that, which is obviously like insane for the same price, especially the fact that like the Retroid Pocket 6 is going to have a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 in it, which is even more powerful for, you know, a very similar price. But one thing that I do like about having that extra power is a lot of the time it means less tinkering in certain systems too. You know, like the systems that were kind of on the fringe of, you know, that needed certain tweaking, like Gamehub and stuff like that. You know, this now needs less tweaking and Switch too to run you know, to run full speed stuff. Well, oof. Michael Benny, yo, Switch looking weird, bro. Yo, what your Switch doing, bro? Your Switch look weird. Yo, that's that GameStop Switch, bro. That ain't no Walmart Switch, bro. That's a Dollar General Switch. That's a gear, bro. That ain't a switch. Oh, I probably shouldn't do that. Anyways, so this is a Hollow Knight Silksong, very playable. I think there's probably going to be like some slight stutters here and there, and there's probably like a couple tweaks you can make to the settings to, you know, fix it up, but it's feeling pretty solid so far. Absolutely gorgeous game. Perfect for masochists who love just ridiculously hard boss battles and all that jazz. So let's hop out of here. Ice Cream Bruds, I'm glad you caught me live, brother. Yellow packing a punch. I do love this yellow. It is really. I didn't know what you know. My ex-girlfriend had a yellow Switch Lite, and I remember just kind of being envious of that Switch Lite. I was like, man, I should have got that. I want that. Because it just looks so cool. It's just such a like crazy just banana shade. And if you know a thing or two about me, you know I'm crazy for bananas. Wait, now DK64, I made that DK64 video. I bought I think I bought around 45-50 bananas for that. So I like yellow. I think yellow is pretty fun and pretty cool. And so when I saw that they were releasing the G2 in yellow, in the Switch Lite yellow, I had to scoop one up. You know, Michael Benny, you can't do that when I'm sick, bro. Coming in with the all-time classics. The 1001, you know, joke books. Just absolute heaters. Banana has appeal. What did the banana say to the other banana? You were quite appealing. So let's hop into Valheim and take a look at what we're working with in the Valheim world. Now, obviously, this is I've cranked down the graphics, and also, by the way, we're running most of these just in performance mode, regular performance mode. I can turn it up to high performance, just for the time being to get like a squeeze 1 or 2 more FPS out of this. But honestly, the fan noise is insane. I don't know if you. I don't think you can hear that, but if you can, it's probably cutting in and out. It's pretty loud. The fan has a loud whine. I'm going to go ahead and put that back to performance mode. So here's Valheim. I have it capped at 30 FPS because anything above that is just a little, gets a little chunk. It gets a little inconsistent, a little framey. So let me actually hop over into here too and also cap it at 30 FPS within game too. Now, obviously 30 FPS is quite suitable for a Switch Lite looking handheld, considering how many games run at 30 on the Switch. Hopefully the sun will rise soon. But yeah, usually, you know, it's kind of hovering around that 30 mark, maybe slightly under when it's loading in textures. But after a couple minutes, I was playing this for about 20 minutes before stream, just kind of checking it out, getting things set up. It does have this weird thing on the side. You can see how it kind of looks like it's stretching those trees out. Kind of has that like weird line thing going on. I don't know what's going on with that. And also that thin black line at the top, that's just a Valheim problem. Yeah, so it's outside of that though, I mean, it runs pretty good. I was squaring up with some gobos. Let's pick a fight. Maybe we can find a big old troll. Oh, dear. Flub that one. Come on, buddy. Wow. All right, the hunt has begun. Oh, that's a boar. How did I whiff it? Oh, brother. Does anyone else use their index finger on the D-pad? Or is it just me? I've always wondered that. I'm kind of an index finger on the D-pad kind of guy. To be fair, I do play Rocket League like this with all fingers on deck. So I'm quite unique when it comes to controller grip. I like to play like this, to be exact. This is the maximum efficiency when it comes to gaming. You may not like it, but this is what peak performance looks like. I have access to all the buttons. Wait, there we go. Okay, and then like that, like this. There we go. And now I can do everything. Yep. Okay. Oh yeah. So, anyways, that's how you play Valheim. Oh shit. Bop. That was how you played 3D PSP games back in the day. For real, dude. Those 3D PSP games were so chalked. Having that single analog stick. And then like Call of Duty wanted you to do the look around with the ABXY, with the, you know, the face buttons. Man, that was brutal. Bumpers to pivot the camera and those, you know, 3D JRPGs. All right, we're getting pretty framey right now. I'll show you the settings that I have. I probably could optimize it a little more, but here's the settings loadout. You know, I like to, even when I lower resolution and stuff like that, I like to keep draw distance in pretty much any game at least one step above minimum to make sure that I don't get jumped by, you know, enemies that just pop in like 5 feet in front of me. That's a big thing with Fallout that I noticed is if you have draw distance at the bare minimum, you will get hit before you can even see the enemy, before they've even rendered in. They will just blast you into infinity and beyond. 3D PSP games were wild, absolutely. I used to be so like enamored with 3D mobile games. I used to think they were just like the final frontier of entertainment. I was like, I'd always wanted the DS to be a portable N64, and I always wanted the PSP to be a portable PS2. And to be fair, that's how Sony marketed the PSP. Was just like, oh, you can play Ape Escape, Jack and Daxter, Metal Gear. You know, you got all your home console games, but they're all just kind of like stripped down and controlled very wonky. And then the PS Vita came along and really just like actually became a home console. Kind of, you know, Uncharted wasn't exactly, you know, a banger on there, to be frank. Gravity Rush goes crazy though. So anyways, this is Valheim. Pretty fun, you know, hovering in the high 20s for the most part. Consider it definitely playable. Not like perfect. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, the Retroid Pocket 6 will run that a lot better than the G2. The Iron Thor also has the same processor and runs it pretty well, like, you know, upper 30s. I have that one capped at 40 FPS. All right, next up, let's give Fallout New Vegas a try. Let's see what we can get in Gamehub Fallout New Vegas. Let me know if my sniffling is too loud too. I almost didn't stream because I'm sick, but I didn't want to wait until I wasn't sick to show you guys this because, you know, I just got it and I think it's fun to check it out, whether I'm sick or not. I also still kind of have my voice, which will probably be gone tomorrow. Oh. So another thing, by the way, that I didn't mention about the G2 is it is literally exactly like the Retroid Pocket 5, except for the processor. So everything else is the exact same, including the amount of RAM and the amount of internal storage. So just like the Pocket 5, we have 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of internal storage. 128 gigs in late 2025. Are you kidding me, Retroid? You cheap motherfuckers. Like 128 gigs and currently the G2 is more expensive than the Pocket 6 because the G2 is actually out and it's past the early bird while the Pocket 6 is still for pre-order. It's very strange. And you know, and something that Retroid works in mysterious ways. And most of those ways are, you know, quite not ideal, including 128 gigs. So that means that Android games, Gamehub games, and texture packs, like 3D upscale texture packs for certain games, that all need to be installed on the internal storage will just eat that up. By the time I was done installing apps and everything, and my texture packs and all that, even before I installed Gamehub games, I was already at 64 gigabytes used. I already used half of it, and then I only had 64 gigs for Gamehub games. So I could only install 4 games. So that's a big bummer when it comes to the G2, is you only get one loadout, and it's the 128 gigs of internal storage. Michael Benny, your friends and you have never played Valheim. Is it time for you to break into Valheim? And I only realized that after I read it. Well, to answer your question, I would say probably not. It's probably not the best or worst time to play Valheim. It is a very neutral time to break that to break in the Valheim men. Oh, okay. So it seems like New Vegas is struggling to launch. And in terms of the settings that I'm using to set all these containers up, I copied them from my from my AYN Thor. So I copied in all of those settings. Oh, hello. Okay. Well, I guess I'm just kind of stuck here. So the AYN Thor has the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, and this has the Snapdragon G2. And I just copied in all the settings to just have like a decent baseline. But it seems like it loaded. Just took a really long time. And by the way, if anyone new has joined, that staticky sound, I was having cable problems. So, and I'm still having cable problems, but I just put like a little staticky removal filter in order to fix it, just for the stream. So if you hear the static, it's just a bad cable. Anyways, options. So this is a little pro strat right here. All right, pro gamer strat is first you just go right here, and then you pick the 16:9, 720 low, and then you go into advanced, and then you go to view distance 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that makes sure that the actors, you will see them before they fight you, and the objects you'll still be able to see from far away. It might lower your FPS slightly, but it's better than just getting jumped before the enemies actually render in, which happens more than you think if you set it to the actual lowest of everything. Anyways, what up, all 13 y'all? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good time. I know this is a demon hour stream. I am sick, and so my circadian rhythm is slightly off. And I was also having stream problems. But yeah, I got the Retroid G2 about a day ago. And because I'm sick, I fell asleep while setting it up last night. I dozed off. So there's certain things that aren't fully set up, but we were rolling with the punches today. Anyways, let me know if you have any games that you want to see. When it comes to Gamehub games, I'm very limited because of the internal storage of the G2. We only have 128 gigs of internal storage, and I only had 64 left by the time I got to even installing one Gamehub game. So, yeah. You know how Call of Duty and all those PC games take up like several hundred gigs? Yeah, well, we only have one hundo on here. All right, well, anyways. This is Fallout New Vegas. And let's tweak a couple thingy things here. Let's set the frame limit. Let's see what we're hovering around. So here's a little strat for Gamehub and other similar apps, is keep an eye on that FPS at the top left and just kind of run around for like a minute or two. So it seems like, all right, we're not getting too much tearing. And I like to kind of just keep an eye on that FPS. And if it seems like we're dipping too much, like more than I want, then I'll usually cap it right below that dipping part. So we're getting some load-ins, some frame drops here and there. And it seems to be hovering around that 50 mark, slightly above for the most part. But I'm not sensing a solid 60. So instead of dealing with all those dips, I'm just going to cap it at 50 because frame pacing is more important than FPS. Smoother frame pacing usually feels better overall. And we still might be getting some some choppiness here and there, but there's so many things you can tweak when it comes to Gamehub. There's so many different settings that might be able to get you smoother and all that jazz. But this is just kind of out of the box stuff here. For the most part, I mean, I spent a little bit of time setting it up today. But yeah, there might be a little bit of glitchiness too. Santoso Fresh. You got yours ordered, still waiting. It's your first Retroid. Nice, dude. What other games can you run? Fallout New Vegas. Great game. Yeah, it's a pretty rad game. There's definitely some settings that I could tweak to make it run better. And, and in that same breath, some settings that you could probably tweak to make it run better too. I do have a guide on how to run it on the Retroid Pocket 5, but that guide is a little old, and it uses a very old build of Winlater. So I need to make an updated version using a more modern build. I'm also curious that what emulator is best for this, but in terms of what kind of whoa, buddy. Okay, I'm gonna run up on it right now. Oh, they're throwing dynamite. Jeez Louise, brother. All right. Ain't no way I'm hitting this. One time. For the one time. Boom! Oh no! That ain't YouTube TOS. Ain't TOS friendly. Did he drop a mine? Oh nope. He has a go. Okay. Oh no. Oh no. All right. Quick stim back. Quick stimmy. Oh no. Oh, boys, we're down bad. We're down bad right now. Let's get back in the mix here, and we got to pull out the big guns. It's go time. Do I have a grenade launcher? Grenade launcher, yes. All right, one for you. And one for you. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure doing business with you. Talon 6, you found a few games on the Steam Deck. You would just lock them to 40 and it wasn't too bad. Yeah, honestly, like 40 isn't that bad. And it's obviously better than 30. So, but it's also not as good as 60. So it's kind of just about finding that sweet spot of smooth frame rate and like frame pacing and all that. And, you know, and also everybody has different tolerances for, you know, what frame rate they want and what they consider playable and what they don't. For me, I consider usually 40 and above to be for the most part playable. 30 you can sometimes get away with, but it really depends on the game. Like Valheim, I don't mind 30 FPS. It's kind of an old school feeling game, but other games like, you know, more precision based stuff, I would definitely not be happy with 30 FPS. But yeah, I know that even Cyberpunk on the Switch 2 is like kind of a 40 FPS cap, from what I've heard. I need to actually check that one out. Oh yeah. So, just for the record, I play Fallout in a very boring way. For the most part, I love just like being a little scavenger rat and just looting everything. I'm a loot rat for sure. So I just kind of I played in such a boring way, which is why I'll never do a Fallout New Vegas you know, let's play or anything even remotely close to that, because I just spend half the time looting and then min-maxing my bargaining. So yeah, that's Fallout New Vegas. And with that said, let's out of here. Talon 6, you could see how the setting would look at 540p and enable super resolution. Yeah, that might look pretty solid too. Yeah, I think that, you know, 40 to 50 FPS was pretty solid. There's got to be a way to run it at 60 FPS because, to be honest, on the Retroid Pocket 5, I found a certain build of Winlator, which was like Winlator Winebox 64, would run Fallout New Vegas at like 55 to 60 FPS. And it was very smooth, but the problem is that build of Winlator also had a Trojan malware in it. So I didn't want to recommend that build because I didn't want to recommend something with malware in it. You know, the other build of Winlator also had that, but I didn't know at the time. And so I felt weird knowing that there's like, if you launched this one specific program by accident, then it could corrupt your save files. That's all the malware did, was just corrupt files. It didn't actually like, you know, ping home or anything like that. But it's just like, I didn't want to risk it. And I felt weird recommending, you know, something that would like potentially corrupt people's save files and all that. All right, let's launch it with anti-cheat turned off. Just maybe it'll run smoother. BioShock. Ooh, I should have installed BioShock. I was gonna install BioShock Infinite, but Infinite is like huge. Infinite was like 40 gigabytes, which is fine on something with more internal storage, but that's 1/3 of the internal storage here. So yeah, I could install BioShock 1 or 2. Maybe I'll do that while we're talking, you know, chit chat and taking a little break from games. But in the meantime, we're gonna check out Halo Master Chief Collection. Talon 6, you running on game? I am running on Gamehub Lite, and yeah, I've heard that that official Gamehub has slightly better performance. Yeah, I've heard that. to me, it's a tricky thing because it's like, you know, there's the, I know the regular Gamehub has kind of reeled back on the telemetry and all that stuff, and I kind of just like the intention of Gamehub Lite more than Gamehub in general. So I usually just take like a, you know, 2 or 3 FPS dip in order to support Gamehub Lite's mission. And also I've heard that, like, you know, sometimes Gamehub Lite runs better than Gamehub, but I can't say for sure, and I'm not really like gonna be, I guess, testing both of them too much. Can I just skip this, or do I have to? All right, let me log in right quick. I'll put a, should I put on screen? Bang me, the Mang Me RX. I put the Mang Me on screen as I'm signing in. Visual stimulation. Yeah, it'll just take me a second to give them all of my data. Take my data, Microsoft. Zeth the Dark Mage, you wanted to test out DJ Max Respect since it seems like it would run well, but it's 100 gigs, dude. I know, that's the thing with the Retroid Pocket G2, is it's so skimped on the internal memory, the internal storage. It's crazy. Like 128 gigs is laughable, to be honest. It's so skimpy. Crazy. All right. Enter the code, the magic code. All right, we're almost in the mix. What? I have to reset my password? Oh, brother. This guy stinks. Also, what up, all 10 of y'all? Hope you're having a good time. And anyone who's watching the VOD, hope you're also having a good time. I am currently signing in to Halo Master Chief Collection because this shit, Microsoft sucks. Alright, let me just skip it. Jeez Louise. So far, I've received 7 prompts and counting. And also, I've had to change my password, and that's all in the past 1 minute. So this is fun. This is a good stream. Thanks, Microsoft. Love you, bud. All right, we're in. We're in. Let's make sure I don't dox myself. Oh my gosh. Dude. No. I have to sign in again. Oh, lordy. This is rough. This is tough. All right. One more time. If it doesn't let me sign in, I'm calling it on Master Chief Collection. Like I've always said, if nothing goes wrong, it ain't a Monto Tech stream. That's crazy. You can run Master Chief Collection. Well, we're gonna find out. we're gonna find out together. So far, I only know that it can run the over 10 prompts, the 10 on-screen prompts that I've received so far. To sign in, change my password, change my gamer tag, and now I have to verify 2 of my emails. I hate Microsoft so much. All right. We're almost there, I think. If you're wondering what this is the Magme Air X. Cheap handheld. It's about $90. It's pretty rad. I actually really like it. All right. We're in, fellas. We're in, and it's just gonna dox me, I guess. All right. Well, I guess we're just going dox mode. Pretty sick. So we're in the mix. We're officially we're officially reaching around. Wait. Hold up. All right, let's what do we want to do? We want to play a little Reach, maybe? Yeah, let's check out some Halo Reach. Let's go normal. I'm not trying to impress anyone. How's the stream looking? How's the volume? Everything feeling all right to everyone? I see there's only 2 of y'all. Struggled there for a minute. Thanks for sticking with me. Can we skip it? Can we skip the cutscene? How do I skip it? Space. All right. It's go time. Josh Casey, greetings and salutations. It's a glorious day for a handheld review. Huzzah indeed. Tis the night of the first impressions with the Retroid G2 in banana formation. Vegan Pop-Tart skipping the cutscene should always be an option. It should be, theoretically. Oh, there we go. I guess it just like wasn't registering that I was using a controller or something. I don't know, a little sus. A little weird. Alright, let's make sure native rendering is disabled. We're going to turn on super resolution, drop the frame rate down to about 45. Just preemptively. Yeah, I think we're good.
Let's check it out.
Might need to drop it down to 30, but we'll find out. I think 45 is a good start. Just judging from what I'm seeing down there, I'm seeing mid 30s. So something tells me we're gonna have to probably cap it at 30. I do want to see if we can push 45 though. All right, go time.
All right, noble team, spread out. Watch the approach.
All right, yeah, I'm seeing slightly above 30. So I'm going to cap it at 35.
Structure point 3-4. Looks clear from this angle.
Distress beacon is coming from just south of your commander. We're close.
Oh man.
Roger that.
What's is this the do I have a scope on here? Do I have an iron sight, or is it just right stick? And this is running pretty well though. This is a Halo ODST from the Master Chief Collection. What are we doing, fellas?
any ID?
Negative, but it's military.
Oh, that's melee.
Where are the troopers?
Might need to change these controls to something a little more modern. This is rough.
Noble 3, can you confirm any EX residue in the area?
Talon 6, hate knowing that there's a better version of the RP5, but you can't justify getting G2 and the Odin 3. Correct.
There's a lot of blood on the ground.
That is very valid. The G2 is really just a Retroid Pocket 5 Plus. It's
Structure, boss.
I really don't think that they should have named it something different, because it's just a Retroid Pocket 5 Plus. And the Pocket 5 is still a fantastic device. I think, you know, now that the G2 is out, it's like, if anyone was going to get the Pocket 5, maybe they can get the G2, but honestly, I'd recommend just getting the Retroid Pocket 6 and just waiting until after Christmas. Yeah, this really just feels like a kind of a Band-Aid, or just a mid-cycle refresh that came way too late. So I wouldn't trip about not having this. And you'll be pretty stoked on the Odin 3, especially once they get driver support for the 8, the Snapdragon 8 Elite, because it's a whole new architecture. That's why it's you know, it's taking so long to get driver support on there. It's just an entirely like tier above all the other previous Snapdragons. Would it? Josh Casey, is this on Gamehub? Yes, it's Gamehub Lite. Master Chief Collection, playing Halo ODST. And I got it frame capped at 35. Just kinda, you know, just playing it conservative, I guess. I'm not running it in the highest performance profile either, just because the fan gets so loud. You know, maybe I'll go to smart fan and just punch it. But yeah, I can hear the fan through my headphones now, and it's whining, it's hollering. That's for sure. I don't know how much more performance we'll get. Let's try turning off the frame limit. I feel like maybe we'll get 40 max, but to be honest, I think 35 is kind of a safe cap, even on the you know, quiet performance preset. Game looks great though, especially with that super resolution filter. I really love the super resolution filter in Gamehub. I think it's such an awesome feature, and just like really puts it above a lot of win later builds. All right, use X to sprint.
Negative. Thermal's clean.
All right, where are we going?
Boss, I see movement outside the structure.
Excuse the sniffling. If you just joined, I'm sick, so I'm trying not to cough and, you know, get too goopy. Whoa. Did they hijack? Did the Covenant hijack the that plane? Explosion? Man, these are some wonky controls. Hold on, let me try and change these controls. Is there a different control scheme? Configure gamepad, Halo Reach, Halo CE, Halo 2. Let's see what this one is. Action reload. Oh, they're all the same. Oh, whatever. Let me try turning it back down to the regular performance mode. And that static that you're hearing, that's just a bad audio cable. I tried some different audio cables, and I was having just audio problems in general. So if you hear that, that's just the cable. It's not actually like anything to be concerned about. All right, let's try capping this at 35. If it will let me. Come on. 35. Let's try and storm the gates here. Santos Fresh, when will the Odin 3 come out or ship? I think they're starting to ship in probably late December, January, maybe. I don't know. I could be wrong. I just know that it's probably not going to arrive before Christmas. They're only just now getting into reviewers' hands, and usually it's that's like, you know, pre-production units or whatever. Man, these are some crazy controls.
Noble leader, enemy dropships inbound.
Honestly, this is running pretty solid for the most part, especially for something that's like, you know, $200, a little over maybe. That being said, especially with the Retroid Pocket 6 coming out, you know, in a few months, I don't know how, like, this is not going to be as powerful as the Retroid Pocket 6. The Retroid Pocket 6 is probably going to be, you know, running this at another 10 FPS more, at least. But still, I mean, having this in our hands right now is pretty great. As like a Retroid Pocket 5 Plus, I'm pretty happy with this performance level. Coming from a Retroid Pocket 5, obviously. As like a very late mid-cycle refresh, I'm jiving with this. I'm vibing with this, as the kids say.
Stand down, Noble. Stand down. Contacts neutralized.
This game looked great. This is pretty rad. I feel like on stream it like almost kind of looks like that old Nova game. Like it looks like just running that old Halo ripoff game. Town 6, yeah, supposedly shipping at end of November. Yeah, I wouldn't count on that, to be honest. I only just got my Thor like a few weeks ago, so, and I pre-ordered the Odin 3 as well, like as soon as it was released. So I don't know. I feel like they'll probably take a little bit to get them in people's hands. Yo, I could really use a cyber sword right now, low key.
Commander, I'm seeing more hostile activity to the northeast.
So this is Halo Reach in the Halo Master Chief Collection. It's running at 720p with this little super resolution filter on. And we're running it in Gamehub Lite on the regular performance mode. High performance didn't actually do that much to the FPS. I genuinely don't think it raised it by more than 1 frame per second. So I'm just keeping it at regular performance mode. And now that we're in the truck, I think we're gonna move on. That was pretty fun. Ran pretty smooth, you know, 35. Nothing crazy. Josh Casey, Nova was the shit. Or was it Nova was shit? It was definitely peak mobile gaming, that's for sure. Yeah, Nova was crazy. That was an era. Just that whole era of like mobile like demakes of console games. That was really funny. There was like that Assassin's Creed one too. I think a lot of them were by Gameloft. There's Asphalt. Man, what an era. I'm popping a lozenge. Holler in the chat if you're popping a lozenge for a real one. Let me know if my lozenging is too loud. Also, what up all 10 of y'all? How we doing? Glad to have you here. I'm sick, so I'm slurping on a lozenge. All right, next up. So that was Gamehub Lite. games were running surprisingly well in there. I mean, we had Valheim running high 20s, cruising, you know, high 20s, hovering in that 30 range. Master Chief Collection running Halo ODST. No, Halo Reach. And a little bit of Fallout and Hollow Knight Silksong. So next on the docket, we're going to hop over into Eden and check out a couple of these games. Let me pull up my Forbidden Games list. Not that kind of list. Not actually the Forbidden Games list. We ain't running those Gooner games around here. No, sir. Let's kick it off with a little something to get the Nintendo ninjas quaking in their boots, to get a red dot on my forehead from a Nintendo ninja. Ryan Retro, what up, homie? Dude, how you doing? I saw you streaming with the same color. this thing is fun, man. Glad to have you here, brother. Yeah, the G2 is it really feels like a Retroid Pocket 5 Plus in every single way, and it just feels like they released it too late. But as a handheld, like zooming out and looking at it just objectively, without the Retroid, thinking about the Retroid Pocket 6, I think the G2 is a really great device, and really just like it feels great. It feels like everything that the Retroid Pocket 5 did right, and then just with more performance, a little more horsepower under the hood, and everything else is like super familiar. Yeah, it just feels like it's just replacing the Retroid Pocket 5 in my rotation, to be honest. I've been pretty happy with it so far. I know, like, and another thing that's great about it is that because because it's more powerful than the Retroid Pocket 5, it does everything that the Retroid Pocket 5 does, but with less tinkering. So you don't need to, like, you know, do as much tinkering because there's more raw performance and raw power. So you can just you know, you can just kind of like have that extra muscle. But yeah, man, what do you think of it? I mean, you're the Retroid Pocket 5 guy, dude. You're the, if anyone knows Pocket 5 and therefore G2, it's you, man. What do you think of it? I also saw your big I saw that chart. I gotta actually watch your video on the performance comparison of all the different handhelds. But I saw that chart, and it was pretty impressive, like seeing how close the G2 is to the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. I think it would have been a hit if it came, dude. Same thought as me. It just came a little too late. And launching at the same time as the RP6 was weird. It was really weird, right? And then what was even weirder was that was when they you know, kind of backstepped and then redesigned the Retroid Pocket 6, and then therefore probably delayed it. I don't know if that actually delayed it, but I would assume that redesigning it would delay it. And then now they added more SKUs. I mean, I guess it's all for the better, because now there's more options for people to choose from, and they kind of took a lot of inspiration from the Pocket 5, G2, all that. But you know, announcing it at the same time, they both, the G2 and the Pocket 6, both just kind of stepped on each other's shoes, and now we like both of them are clouded because of that. Like, they just, instead of letting them both shine on their own, Retroid made them both step on each other's shoes. So that's kind of, it just feels it feels like they shot from the hip. You know, they shot from the hip a little too much. You know, they really should have thought things through and done things a little less Retroidy, to be honest. It's very on brand for them to just do something weird like that. D-pad stick choice. Yeah, the 120 hertz screen too. I always forget about that, man. It's just, there's so many things that the Retroid Pocket 6 just dunks on it. 4K output, bigger battery for $10. And the thing is that right now I gotta double check, but I'm pretty sure that because the G2 is out, the early bird's over. So now it's $10 more than the Pocket 6. I gotta double check that, but it's just like the Pocket 6 just runs laps around it because because they released this too late. It's weird. Michael Benny unloaded too early. I mean, that's another way of putting it. Yeah. I mean, oh, sorry. This is super bright. I was locked in on Frogrario. Talon, you sure that the dual screen will work fine on the Pocket 6 too? Absolutely. Yeah. They can totally. It's just about them adding a setting, to be honest. Like Retroid, the only reason why it doesn't work with like all these other handhelds is because those handheld manufacturers need to add a setting to rotate the screen. That's all that Retroid did, was just like add a little setting that rotates the external screen. Yeah, I don't know. The dual screen add-on is quirky. I'll leave it at that. It's a quirky add-on. I think the Thor is a fantastic device, and you know, if you're gonna be maining the dual screen add-on, then you know, the Thor is the move. That is for damn sure. But as a general accessory, I mean, the dual screen's like pretty sweet. You know, nice, smooth little 69 bones for a second screen. Detachable, all that jazz. Bit hokey. That's a good word to describe it. Definitely a bit hokey. Little hocus pocus. Let me know if my lozenging is too loud. I'm trying to keep it tame. I've been known to be a loud lozenger. All right, it's go time. Time to show and prove you. I gotta double check what settings I'm running this at. I think I'm running this in dock mode, just because like it is a staple game and it's so optimized at this point. But I have to double check. Eden has been absolutely crushing it in the Switch emulation world. I've been very impressed with Eden's. What do I got to do here? Do I jump? Oh, okay. I thought I was gonna become him or something. Yeah, Eden has been I've really like been having fun checking out Eden's the Eden's Veil, like the experimental features too, and just seeing how far we can push Switch performance. I know there's some people who are just like, oh, just get a Switch, blah 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 blah. But I think it's really fun to just see how far we can push these retro handhelds. Oh, it's go time. And if you know me, you know I just so happen to have dabbled in Switch emulation and tested over 125 games on the RG556. If you check out my first videos on this channel, you might see them. But yeah, exactly, Talon. Like most of us have a Switch. Like, let's be honest. I think Switches are one of the most. It's one of the best-selling consoles of all time. I feel like most people have a Switch. So it's not a matter of like replacing a Switch. It's a matter of just having everything on one handheld, and also like having an OLED screen, having better controls, Gamehub. Like, there's just so many fun things that you can do with these handhelds, and I really enjoy checking out like everything that they can do. You know, I'm never gonna be salty for people trying to push the envelope of performance. I'm never gonna tell people like, you know, what they can and can't play on their handhelds. You know what I'm saying? And I think like seeing the evolution of Switch on these handhelds has been really, really impressive stuff, and just a testament to like all the development teams. I'm really excited for PS3 emulation to make some more advancements. That's gonna be pretty sick. RPCSX. I actually have that loaded on here, but I don't have any games yet. All right, let's break some blocks. What do we gotta do here? Give me that. Give me that. Oh! Ka-chow. Bullseye, baby. Oh, no. Oh, you're salty. Like a Benny. You'd use your Switch, but it's in a box at the bottom. Yeah, dude. It's just buried. It's just absolutely buried. I actually just picked up, like, I got a box. I also have a stack of handhelds to my side here. Let me unstack the stack. I have a modded Switch here. I picked up secondhand. It's probably not charged. Yeah, it's not charged. But modded Switch Lite. I think I got it for like 150. It's pretty sweet to just have like a modded Switch Lite. You know, especially just considering how hard they are to mod. You know, soldering the chip, the Mariko chip. This looks great though. It's running really great too. Oh, look at that. Look at that gloss on Mario's hat. Oh, they did such a good job with this game. Man. It looks absolutely gorgeous on here, on this OLED screen too. But again, like this is the Pocket G2, but the Retroid Pocket 6 is going to have a 120 hertz screen that's also OLED, and also, you know, have a bigger battery, output 4K. There's so many other things that the Pocket 6 is going to do better than the Pocket G2. They really just should have released this 6 months ago. But, you know, we're getting it now. They announced it at the same time as the Pocket 6. Very quirky, very goofy of Retroid, very on brand. All right, so I got to collect five more things. All right, let me see if there's like a save point or something like that. And there's definitely a way to... Okay, so we're getting a little saving icon right there. Cool. So there's probably ways to smooth this out even more and get like a really locked 60, because sometimes, you know, we're gonna be dipping slightly below it. Actually, this is looking pretty solid. I think it's only when loading in new parts of levels. Give me that. Give me that. Yeah, we're actually looking pretty solid on frame rate here. Ka-chow. Oh, no. Yeah, sometimes it can go down to like 55 or whatever. There's probably ways to smoothen that out. But let's take a look at what settings we were running that on. So I had the GPU driver in Eden, just using this little fetch tool here. I got, you know, 26 for the Mesa Turnip. I think it was Kimchi. Yeah, I like having the recommended driver thing there. Another tool that's very helpful, by the way, is downloading this app called EmuReady. Just check out this app called EmuReady, and it has self-submitted reports from people. And it's really like, it's a big tool for Gamehub, Switch emulation, and other emulators too. And then what you can do is go to the reports, filter at the top right, and then go down to devices, and then search for your device. So what I did is I just searched G2, and then just click the Pocket G2. And then here's all the reports that people did for the Retroid Pocket G2. So like Super Mario Odyssey, I just checked this out. And then I just copied over all of these settings. And there's a launch tool too, where you can launch straight from here, but it doesn't quite work perfectly. So I would wait on that. But that's like a really handy tool to just like match all the settings and everything. So, you know, we have our asynchronous shaders. And then we also, yeah, we are running it in docked mode. So we're running it at 1080p. And then also, I like to throw on some of these little Eden's Veil thingy things, like setting the dynamic state. Some of these are unstable, but, you know, fun to check out. Cat check. Anyways. About to see. Ooh. Woo! Wahoo! Okay, anyways. On to Zelda Crazy Breath. So actually, before we hop in here, let's check out what settings we're running this on. And sorry again for that staticky sound. That's just a bad audio cable. So sometimes there is going to be a little bit of that sound. So we're running this in handheld mode at 1x resolution, 720p, asynchronous shaders, kind of the usual loadout. And then I think we got some Eden's Veil things going on. Yeah, I have extended dynamic state, some vertex stuff, just kind of noodling around, seeing what works. Yeah, nothing crazy. I just kind of like copied over some settings from EmuReady and then just, again, noodled around. See you, Santoso Fresh. Later. And see you later too, Talon. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna miss you. Bye. Vegan Pop-Tart static sound, not bad. Okay, cool. I'm glad. It's I gotta figure out this audio cable. I think it's an electric interference thing, but I'm not much of a electrical engineer or you know, audio engineer, so I just kind of just put a filter over it and just hope for the best. But here is Zelda Crazy Breath running at 720p handheld mode, looking absolutely gorgeous on this OLED screen. The colors are just popping, are absolutely bussin', as the youths say these days, right? That's what they say. All right, it's go time. Kerchow. Light work. Give me that. Bukubo. Alright, it's Bukubo time. Oh no. Oh no, that's not what I meant to do. How do I change my weapon? Yeah? Okay, wait. Oh, no, no. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, let's go. Okay, yeah. Now we're stacked up. All right, let's Traveler's Sword. Grab some of that stuff. What's this? Put your Wii U tablet in the tablet slot. Hey, yo, what up, all 15 y'all? How we doing? Hope you're having a good time checking out the stream. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening to my sick, nasally voice. Slurping on a lozenge. Whoa. Whoa. How's the stream looking? How's it sounding? Whoa. I forgot about this scene. I need to play Breath of the Wild again. Just like play it through. I've been playing Tears of the Kingdom on the Switch too, with that 60 FPS upgrade. It's pretty sweet. If he was gone for 100 years, would that make him the missing link? They gotta make a Zelda the missing link. Just give him a beard, like a whole lot of chest hair. The missing link. He's just especially hairy. They got that AI Sasquatch. That ain't no Wii U tablet. Move some of this in for the vibes. For the vibrations. Oh yeah, I also have I have a 60 FPS mod on here from I think it's like Better NX or something like that. It's or it's some sort of like NX improvement or something like that. Just look up Breath of the Wild 60 FPS and there's like this you know, this program for Windows and Mac too, I think, that lets you mod lets you create like a mod file, and then you just load it up in Eden. And it's nice for like, you know, tuning Breath of the Wild, and then also like there's mods for Tears of the Kingdom as well, and Echoes of Wisdom. Yeah, it's like a pretty handy tool for just a couple different games. So on handhelds like the Thor and also, you know, Retroid Pocket 6 that have that Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip, those will be running this even smoother, probably at like a 60 FPS, more or less. All right, what do I do? What do I do? Do I jump? I don't think I'd jump. I wasn't listening. What do I do? Oh no. Stuck. I need a walk through. Where do I go? Oh, here's my mans. Here's my mans. St. Nicholas. It's Christmas already. Down the stairs. Don't look down. Don't look down. So, man, I've been rock climbing for about 10 years. There's one thing I know, it's looking down. It's looking down at all the worst times. Did you recognize the mysterious voice? No. No, I didn't. But I recognize you. You're a spirit or something. Calamity Ganon. Man, this is a long cutscene. How do I get through this thing? How do I speedrun a cutscene? Paraglider. Hand it over. Hand it over, old man. Trade it for a treasure. That's what they all say. Until I steal it from them. What are you gonna show me? Go. Move it. You've had your blinker on for the last 3 blocks. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we going shrining. Shrine style. Alright, so we'll check out this shrine. And then once we get that paraglider, And then we'll hop over into Tears of the Kingdom and take a look at how that one runs. That one's a little more of a demanding game, with also a little bit more glitches and all that. Good job. Come on. Bob and weave, bob and weave. I don't know how to use my arrows, but I know how to do this. Boom! I changed my mind. We're going to grab this treasure, and then we'll hop over into Tears of the Kingdom. What do you think it is? It's probably a pack of 5 arrows. I always give the bummiest treasure in. A traveler's sword. I knew it. It's all I've ever wanted. All right. Skedaddle. If a strange old man promises you his paraglider, do not get in his van. Instead, go in his shrine. Go in his shrine, do his quest, and he'll give you his paraglider. I will always trust a man with a paraglider. Tears of the Kingdom. Let me show you the settings that we're working with here. So for this one, we're also using that same turnip driver. And this is the one that you can just fetch right within the app. Kimchi latest. So you just go down to Kimchi, downloads, and then you just grab the latest one from here. And then we're running it in handheld mode. 1x resolution, so just 720. Asynchronous shaders. VSync off just to try and get a little more performance out of it. Eden's Vale, we got the dynamic state at 1. Just, I don't know. I'm hoping that it can, get better visual quality or something. Some of these settings just made it a little too unstable and it was crashing for me. So I just kind of, kept the usual stuff on. I thought that VRAM aggressive would maybe help. I don't know if it does or not, but that's what we're working with. Just kind of throwing stuff at the wall. And then I also have a Tears of the Kingdom optimizer from this, program. It's like this, ROM modding program. What up, chicken nuggies? Can I play PS2? Juice 2? I don't know if it can play Juice 2, but I would assume so. It can play PS2 pretty dang well. I got some PS2 games on here. Maybe we'll check them out. TBD. I know we're definitely going to check out Tears of the Kingdom, though. Got this queued up Ultra Cam Calamity. I don't really know what that does, but that was part of the Tears of the Kingdom optimizing mod. Your RP5 can't play it. Whoa. Interesting. Is the game called Juice 2 on the PS2? I don't actually have that that game on here. But that's interesting. You should check out Ryan Retro's compatibility sheet, game compatibility sheet. For the Retroid Pocket 5. Because there might be some settings that you can change to get it to run. I can't say for sure. But I know that community sheet, that's probably the best community sheet for compatibility for the Retroid Pocket 5. All right, we got a little bit of lag off the rip. In a big open area like this, it looks like we're hovering around in that upper 20s. For FPS, it seems to be building some shaders, and now it's starting to smooth out a little bit. It's probably going to be a little framey for the first couple minutes as we kind of scout things out here. I think I probably got like an hour or two in the game. Let me see if it can say Yeah, I don't know if it has total play time, but you know, we're out of that first area. We're still in the sky. Not on the ground yet. But this is one thing that I've noticed with Tears of the Kingdom emulating is this blocky stuff here. I don't know how to fix that. It tends to happen with shadows, and it's pretty distracting. So like while it might run at a playable frame rate, the blocky shadows glitch is pretty distracting, and I really wish I knew how to fix it. All right, we gotta lock in, and we gotta climb. Gotta climb high. How do we get up there? Let's go through here. Can probably cruise through here. Oh. Okay. A little bit of flint. If you're just joining, that staticky sound is just a bad audio cable. It's not a fan sound or anything like that. However, the fan on here gets pretty loud if you keep it in high performance mode or smart fan mode. So I usually just keep it on quiet fan preset in the performance mode, which is what we're running right now. Yeah, it just has like the fan gets crazy loud on the higher performance levels. The juice ain't worth the squeeze, in my opinion. Chicken nuggies. If you need to go to X75.75. Yellow looking like Pikachu. On guard. I love this yellow, dude. This is a really like fun kind of pastel yellow shade. And it's weird because like the grip is slightly different shade than the actual thing. It also, by the way, the video from my camera, I saturated it a little more just because I like colorful things. So the it's got a little more contrast and saturation than how it actually looks in person. But in person it still looks gorgeous. It's still like a nice like pastel yellow. And we have these let me block some of the light here. It has these RGB analog sticks. You know, this little RGB ring around the analog stick is pretty nice. You can make it like super bright or super saturated. So I really like how this looks visually. Can it play Fortnite? Yes, sir. It can play Fortnite. It can play Roblox. It can play Minecraft. Zelda, Dragon Quest, or Final Fantasy. Zelda every day. I'm a Zelda goblin. Wish you could make him rainbow like Ambernick ones. Yeah, that's the one thing that you can't do, unfortunately. But still having the I still think that these are like pretty nice analog stick rings. All right, we got a little bit of framiness right there. So it seems like certain areas are going to be pretty choppy. I would definitely recommend playing Breath of the Wild instead of Tears of the Kingdom on here. Tears of the Kingdom is just it might be a little bit outside of that performance limit for like consistent performance. It might also just be like up in these sky area up here because man, it's loading on a lot right now and it's definitely struggling. That is for sure. All right, how do we get from here across? Let me build a little boat. Just kind of ultra hand it. Yeah, we're dipping down to the 18 to 20 FPS range. There might be a setting that I can change to smooth this out more. However, you know, regardless of all of that, I think that this still a tough game to run. Tears of the Kingdom. Even at even at 720p. Chicken Nuggie, go crazy in the chat, bro. Go crazy. What do you got? You got your oh, what happened? Oh, I don't have a... Nope. I need to... Yeah. There we go. All right, you getting the Ambernick. You're gonna get the Ambernick RGDS over the Odin Thor. Yeah, I mean, it's if you can't afford the Thor, then the RGDS is definitely going to be like your best bet. It seems to be kind of struggling even with some DS games at 2x resolution though. So I'm not too impressed with their performance. Even at that like $100 tier, I think that they could have put a better chipset in there. But I think it'll run like, pretty much all your DS games at native resolution just fine. So it's basically just like kind of a beefy DS in a way. The AY in Thor is honestly a work of art, and I think that like it's definitely worth that premium price tag. But again, it's a premium product, so yeah, if you can't afford it or you're not comfortable paying that much, then that RGDS is probably going to be a pretty good value. Coming in at, what was it, like $110, $120, something like that. Considering how much I mean, DSs are actually pretty affordable these days, DS Lites and all that. But you can also play, like, you also got Android on that RGDS, so it's going to be an interesting product. I ordered one, too, so I'm going to be checking it out. Making a little review about it, all that jazz. It's Ultra Hand time. Alright, we got to build a boat. We got to build a boat. So that blocky shadow glitch is pretty consistent. Pretty annoying. Wish I could fix that. I don't know how to fix it. Money not an issue, but you prefer the look of the Ambernick. Yeah, it's definitely a little more retro, for sure. They really went like right for that DS Lite style look. Yeah, I like the look of that too. It's pretty cool. It is interesting, like the size of it, because it's like a DSi XL size, but with a DS Lite design. It's pretty cool. It should be a pretty sweet device. I am very curious what that oh, it's super bright. Sorry about that, y'all. Be super bright. I am very curious about what the performance of that chipset's going to be. What we can actually run on that thing. I know that it has the same chipset as the RG Arc, I believe. The Rockchip RK3568 or something. I don't know. Could be yapping on my gourd with that one. Alright. How do we, oh yeah, I need to, I gotta get a thingy thing. How do I sprint? So I got to find a motor. Looks like a DS Lite. You will sub. Thank you. Appreciate the sub, homie. Hope you enjoy the content. I'm working on a bunch of videos right now, but in the meantime, I've just been kind of streaming and hanging out. It's been a fun little way to like spend a little off time in between making videos. But yeah, I got to get around to finishing like a bunch of reviews. I think I got 4 reviews I'm working on right now. Little bit of a backlog. A Kenny, the backlash against the RGDS is the perfect backdrop for videos. Wow, this is actually amazing. Yeah, for real. For real. It's the cycle of YouTubers, dude. Listen, I'm guilty of it too. I thought the RGDS was AI slop, and then it turned out to not be AI slop, and it turned out that only some of it was AI. so then I made a follow-up video saying it was not AI, after realizing it wasn't. But yeah, now everybody talking smack about it. They're going to be the first ones to be like, why the RGDS is actually blew my mind. It's actually amazing. This RGDS is insane. Zertero, what up? How you doing, homie? Chicken Nuggies, if it can play PS1, you're good. Dude, yeah, it's going to crush PS1. Pretty much all those handhelds can do PS1 at this point. It's going to be pretty sick. Having PS1 in a clamshell like that, at that size too, with the native 4x3 screens, it's going to be pretty tight way to play PS2. All right, I've hit a wall in this game. I don't know where that little fan is. Wait, I think I remember. I might be wrong though. I need to find like an engine of sorts. Either way, this is Tears of the Kingdom. So I think the blockiness and the shadows is kind of crazy. I wish I knew how to fix it. There's must be a way to fix it. But in the meantime, my smooth brain can't crack the case, can't crack the Da Vinci Code there. So that's Tears of the Kingdom. And now a little victory lap. Let's play a little bit of Let's play a little bit of Diablo 2. Just kind of kick back and vibe. RGDS hinge fixed my marriage. yo, and in that same thought, the backlash against RGDS is they're gonna pull that same strat. They're gonna ruin their marriage and then use the RGDS to fix their marriage for clickbait. the RGDS ruined my marriage follow-up video. The RGDS fixed my marriage. The hinge, it fixed it. So we're running this at docked resolution 1080p. I think it really, this Diablo 2 is a game on the Switch that really shines in docked mode. It just looks so crispy. Let me brighten it up for y'all. Naturally a dark game, so there's only so much we can brighten it up. Chicken Nuggies, what Digimon games you got? Zilch. Zertero, how satisfied are you with your G2? I'm pretty stoked with the G2. I think it's really just like I put in the title. It just feels like a Retroid Pocket 5 Plus. And I think they should have released it like 6 months ago, maybe 4 months ago. So it came really late. You know what I'm saying? Dap me up. But the Retroid Pocket 6 is right around the corner. So I don't know what they're doing releasing this at the same time or announcing it at the same time as the Retroid Pocket 6. But I guess, Retroid moves in mysterious ways. And in my opinion, I said earlier in the stream, but they really just by announcing them both at the same time and making the Pocket 6 so much more powerful than the G2, they really just step on each other's feet in a way, and neither of them can shine on their own. So because they announce them at the same time, they both kind of cloud each other's spotlight. So the G2 is just clouded by the Retroid Pocket 6, but the Retroid Pocket 6 isn't out for another 2 months. So it's kind of just a mid-cycle refresh, making the Retroid Pocket 5 a lot more powerful. So from that perspective, I really like it. I think it's everything that the Pocket 5 did well, and just with more horsepower under the hood. It's pretty nice, and it comes in fun colors too, like yellow, the Retroid banana. All right. Chicken Nuggies, fix it with a graphics card driver. You like the 3DS Digimon world? Shouts out to Digimon. It's on PSP too. Cool. Do a game where the right analog stick moves the camera like Dragon Quest 8. Well, we were doing that in Tears of the Kingdom. The right analog stick was moving the camera. But in Diablo, it's isometric. It's a classic. So we're just gonna run this for a few minutes and just kind of vibe out. I'm a geek for Diablo. This is definitely one of my desert island games, like that recent Tech Dweeb video where everyone was talking about their desert island game. I think one of mine would be Diablo 2 for sure. Look for the Blood Raven in the burial grounds next to the. Oh, did I just do that? Or is that what I'm doing right now? Next to the Cold Plains. Yeah, I guess let's see what we can do. Oh, I am so far. All right, let's see if we can heal up before we go into sicko mode Insano style. What up, all 19 y'all? How we doing? Hope y'all having a good night, morning, afternoon, dawn, dusk, wherever y'all are at in the world.
I can't use this yet.
All right, let's get some zombos. Uno. Dos. Let's go, homies. Let's run it up. Zertero, the problem is the proximity to the RP6. That's what I'm saying, man. I mean, they already messed up the launch or the announcement of the RP6 by, like, you know, switching up. I guess it's all for the best in the end, because we now have options for D-pad top or bottom. But you know, I guess it's just weird. Retroid is just kind of they just kind of fumbled a little bit on that, but I guess it all ended up good in the end because we have extra options. Now, when it comes to launches, let's be honest here. Let's be honest. Retroid has almost never had a smooth launch to any of their handhelds. I guess the G2 has been pretty smooth because not a lot of people are getting it. So from that perspective, and also, like, how could they, like, they couldn't fuck this up. they really just couldn't fuck up the G2 because it's just the Pocket 5 with a different chipset. Oh, I need to lighten the load. Man, what am I doing? I'm going out venturing without lightening the load. But yeah, when it comes to, like, every one of their previous handhelds, man, they always flub it on the launch. They always slip and tumble and fumble the bag. It's if there's one thing that's consistent, it's Retroid's inconsistency. G2 is the RP5 Pro. On God. Put that on my tombstone. All right, let's pack this away so I can sell off stream. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Oh man, can I drag and drop? Nope. Brutal. That's the one thing that's just tough about the Diablo Switch port is just inventory management. Brutal. All right, let's load those out, and now let's go questing with more RAM. Does it have more RAM? I don't think that the G2 has more RAM. I think it has 8 gigs. Oh, maybe does the Pocket 5 have 6 gigs? I don't know. Let me know, chat. Let me see if I can raise another skelly. Nope, I'm maxed out on skellies. Yeah, I mean, the internal storage of the G2 is such a bottleneck in my opinion. Having only 128 gigs of internal storage is insane in 2025, almost 2026. Like, that is laughably low, especially with Gamehub Lite and you know, and texture packs just being very common in emulation. Texture packs are usually a couple gigs each. So for each game, it's like a couple gigs. If you have texture packs for 5 games, that's like, you know, 20 gigs, maybe 15, 20 gigs. That's already 1/6 of your storage just in textures. And then you download some Gamehub games. You download 2 Gamehub games. That's 30 gigs. Now you're up to half of your storage already used. It's crazy. Like, 128 gigs is just so limiting. You install Fortnite. Fortnite's probably, what, like... Fortnite's a lot of gigabytes. More than it should be. Call of Duty Mobile. You're already maxed out on storage right there. It's crazy. Yeah, I think the Pocket 6 just has, like, so many more options. It has that 120 Hz screen. Has more RAM, more internal storage. Yeah, it's just kind of a better value overall. But it's also not coming out for a few months. Who knows how fast it'll take them to actually get it in people's hands. Because, you know, while they might be releasing it in January or whatever, Retroid, it might take them a while to actually get in people's hands. With the G2, this is shipping ASAP. They're getting it in people's hands. I don't get review units from pretty much any company, first hand. I get a couple third hand, like second hand third party reseller devices here and there, but I don't get first party review units. So anytime a device ends up in my hands, then if you order it at the same time as me, then you'll get it too. So that's yeah, the G2s are actually available, which is pretty cool. You know, it's more than Conker and Ioneo can say. They can't ship a handheld to save their life. Sound off in the chat if you agree. COD is 120 gigs. Dude, that's the entire internal storage of the G2 and the Pocket 5. That's insane. Holy smokes, 120. Hold on, tactical blowing my nose. Woo-wee. All right, I'm locked in. Chat. We've been live for almost 2 hours, and I'm as locked in as I've ever been. Zertero, Wonelli, RAM is faster, but not more than the RP5. Yeah, so it's the same amount of RAM. Having faster RAM, it does feel like slightly snappier than the RP5, I guess. That's one thing that I've actually like objectively noticed, is that it feels a little snappier, but not by much. Zertero, you love your G2. You have the Retroid Mini V2, and then the G2 for 60x9 systems. Yeah, man, V2 G2. Yeah, dude, hell yeah. I like that too. That's a good like 1-2 combo. 1-2, skip to my loo type shit. The Pocket Mini V2. I never actually ordered that. I had the original Pocket Mini V1. And then I got the like screen upgrade thingy, but I never got around to actually doing it. And at this point, it's like almost obsolete to even do that screen upgrade thing. It's just like not something that people are interested in. So I just never got around to upgrading that. It's just kind of been collecting dust, but I've always been curious what it would look like with the full screen. I have that Retroid Classic over there, which has the full screen, and I do really like having that full real estate. It's a gorgeous screen, and they really kneecapped it when they released it in that 4x3, crop, I guess, cropping it to 4x3. So yeah, the Mini V2 is pretty fire. I'm glad that you got your hands on that. So looks like dude, it's a super powerful device. Like having the same power as the Pocket 5 in that form factor is actually insane. I was playing Fallout 3 on it. You can play Fallout New Vegas because I made that tutorial on how to do it on the same exact chipset. So it's insane. So much power on such a small handheld. Very comfortable too. All right, now we're getting serious. We got the baddies on deck. And I'm gonna need my boys to lock in. I'm pulling up to the function with my skellies. I'm gonna stop playing with me. I'm gonna send my skellies after you. Also, you wish they did the GC color scheme with the Retroid Pocket 6. I know. They switched it up and they went PSP schemes. Which I don't mind. I think it's funny having the Hannah Montana PSP color scheme in there, the purple. The silver is pretty nice too. I think I ended up getting the silver. Yeah, it was crazy. They like canceled everyone's orders for it. And my order also had the G2 in it, so I had to like reorder the G2 and then paid twice as much shipping to ship them separately. It was, oh brother. They really slipped and fumbled on that launch. But yeah, they did go for like more sleek colors, I guess, which was kind of weird. I wish they did some more fun colors, but I still like the options overall. They're decent. Interesting to go like the PSP route, I guess. Chicken Nuggies, you're going to get the add-on second screen? Hell yeah, dude. Run up that DS. You wonder if this is stronger than the 557. That's fair. I have a 557, but I never took it out of the box because I am drowning in other handhelds that I need to review first. So I'm trying to be like diligent about working my way through handhelds, and in order of like what's most beneficial to other people, you know what I mean? So I've been trying to approach it from that perspective of like chipping away at each handheld, getting to know it, getting familiar, filming all the footage that I need to film with it, and then moving on to the next one. And the 557 just keeps getting like, you know, keeps getting outshined by other handhelds in terms of priority. Like the G2, it's just more relevant. And then I have the Odin 3 coming at some point. Waiting for the tracking on that. I'm working on a Thor review and the Mangmi Air X review. And I got 2 reviews almost finished for the Trim UI Brick Hammer and the XU Retro XU20 V32 from XU Retro, formerly known as Magic X. Do you have a Mangmi Air X? Wow, I didn't even see your message. I do. Check it out. That's upside down. I'll let my skellies do the work here, but yeah, here's a cat hair covered Mangmi Air X. It's a pretty fantastic handheld. I've been having a blast playing it. Here's Ocarina of Time 3D. It's oh, I didn't save. Whoops. I've been really having fun noodling around with the native Android games on here, and also I'm testing out some different Switch games, seeing like what Switch games can I get to run on here. It's not many at all, but I think that's kind of the fun for me, is just messing around and seeing what I can get to run on a sub $100 handheld. So let me go to Android games. So here's let me load up Silksong. So I got Silksong running, but it has this save glitch in it where it doesn't oh, nice. Okay, cool. Maybe they fixed the save in this update. I don't know. Let me still try and just give you a little sample, I guess, of Silksong playing on the Mangmi Air X Zertero. Whoa, Nelly, RP6 Hannah Montana decal is coming in. For real. Hannah who? Hannah Montana, brother. Hannah Montana. Hannah Montana stands sound off in the chat. That's a PSP era classic right there, Hannah Montana. So here's so Silksong doesn't save after the Android port doesn't save after the first save in the game, and it's a permissions issue with Android 14, which is what the Mangmi Air X runs. It's pretty bizarre. It's kind of weird, but the performance of this is pretty decent after the first, like, I think I have to, it keeps defaulting to 1080p. So you have to drop it to 720, and then usually it runs pretty decent after that. Let me show you. Just a little sample. It's usually like between 30 and 60 FPS. The Mangmi Air X is very impressive, though. I've been having a blast with this handheld. A little bit laggy, to be honest, just because it's, you know, a budget Android handheld, and definitely, you know, not made to be running Switch or Hollow Knight Silksong. However, it rips through PSP games, and playing Silksong on it is pretty fun too. Let me see if I can quick style this boss right here. I think I can do it. Come on. Ka-chow. There we go. Light work. And then with that, I go, oh. Get me out of here. Magmi Air X. Pretty rad little device. Clocking in at like $90. I think it really raises the bar on just overall value and performance for that price tier. Yellow looks so good, dude. Tell me about it. It's a little saturated on camera just because of you know, just I have like a little saturation and contrast filter called a LUT playing over or like overlaid, but the actual colors of it still look gorgeous. They're very like natural pastel yellow type vibe. You only played Dragon Quest, Digimon, and Pokemon. Hey, listen, I can get behind Pokemon, man. Pokemon and a little bit of Dragon Quest. I got to get more into Dragon Quest. It's just RPGs. Just, you know, they take a lot of time. Work your way through. Pokemon games are a blast though. I prefer the classics and ROM hacks. I'm a demon for ROM hacks. Oh, this is really struggling right now. Man, it's 16, 17 FPS. What is going on, brother? I gotta lock in. All right, yeah, we got a lot going on here. All right, I gotta kill all the shamans. I see you. All right, any more shamans? Yeah, we're getting, whoa, 15 FPS. Damn. Having a lot of enemies on screen really tanks that FPS. Same with the bodies on screen too. Seems to take a little bit to recover. And this looks like... This looks like a quest of some sort. This looks like I'm in a questy zone. Well, that was pretty solid. Until that little frame dip at the end there, just having a million enemies on screen. Diablo 2 though, just an absolute banger, classic. So let's hop over into Citra MMJ and play some 3DS games. Scope those out. See how some 3DS plays. No dual screen add-on this time around. We're just gonna play them just, you know, right on the device. I don't have too many. I don't think I have too many 3DS games loaded up on here. Yeah, I got a couple. We'll start off with Zelda. And let's toggle off all these. And then also I gotta map my controls, I do believe. What's going on up there? Hello? There we go. Alright, let's go. Let's tweak some of these settings. We're gonna go 3 times resolution. Custom textures. And then new 3DS mode. And single screen layout. And then what we're going to do is map our controls. Speed round. Speed round. Oh, I flubbed it. Speed round lock in. Speed round lock in. Come on. Come on. Give me input binding. Boom. 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 Time it. Time it. Start. Swap screen. Select. D-pad. Oh man, that's taking a minute. Down. Left. Right. Oh. This ain't gonna be a PR right here. No siree. Alright, let's hop back in. What grip do you use for the G2? Just the regular official grip. It's the same one as the Retroid Pocket 5 grip, but now they made it in colors for the G2, which is pretty rad. And I'm a pretty big fan of that. All right, let's see if we can go single. There we go. So with 3DS, there's going to be some textures that it's called texture compiling, I think. I called it texture caching or shader caching, but it's shader compilation. And you can see that yellow text in the top left when it pops up. Let me lower the brightness just a little bit. Maybe a little bit more. But there's going to be occasional stutters when it loads up textures. I also have a 60 FPS mod. So usually when it comes to 3DS games, it's gonna take a few minutes to of like occasional stutters. But if it's not consistently stuttering, then you should be in a good place to just like play your game normally. But if it's constantly stuttering, then you might need to lower the resolution. If it's compiling shaders like only when you enter new areas and stuff like that, then you're probably in a good place. So we're going to start off at 3 times resolution. If it's looking a little too chunky when it comes to stutters and all that stuff, then we'll lower it down to 2 times resolution. But this is 720p. Let's go time. I ran this up on the Ein Thor egg level. Yeah, hit me with egg level. I know your schemes. It's go time. Light work. All right, focus. Oh, this ain't none. I'm sorry. This is egg level 5. Oh no! Oh no! One more time. Listen, when it comes to gambling, there's no such thing as losing. You can only give up. All right. I gotta actually lock in this time. I was locked out. I lost the key. Oh no. I'm in a pickle. Alright, just gotta strategically place myself. Oh, that was so easy. That's it? That's all you got? Oh, brother. Is the shader cache persistent, or do you recompile every boot? I think it's persistent. I could be wrong, but it tends to get smoother the more that you play a game, even if that's like multiple sessions. Just from my experience, but it could be placebo. I don't know. Just usually when it comes to playing games, like the more that like if I played it more than once, the second time is pretty smooth. Ready to rush? Oh, brother. Am I just at minigame world over here? Where all the Dungans at? I'm trying to get to some Dungans. Was that the Switch version of Diablo? It was. And touchscreen for inventory. Wonelli. I briefly tried tapping the screen and it didn't work, but it could have been user error. I don't know. I need to double check. But yeah, the Switch version of Diablo runs pretty great. And I was running it at docked resolution too, 1080p. I don't want to play your mini games. I want to go to a dungeon and I want to fight. I want to save the princess. So this is Zelda: A Link Between Worlds for the 3DS, running at 3 times resolution, 720p, in Citra MMJ. I found that Citra MMJ just generally has better performance than Azahar at the moment. It's a little less accurate than Azahar, and but for the most part, I find them to just be pretty imperceivable when it comes to like accuracy in most games. and Citra is just performing a little better than Azahar. And it really depends on like the game and the device. But yeah, I think right now Citra just kind of takes the cake in my opinion. So we're still getting those occasional like little frame hitches, but no major frame performance problems or anything like that. So I would chalk those up to shader compilation. No, I'm not strong enough to lift those. And we're also running this with a 60 FPS patch. So it's running at a smooth 60 and it feels fantastic. Like very, very minimal, if any, input lag. Like this feels fantastic to play. I do have a dual screen attachment, so I could throw that on, but I really don't want to. I'm not a big fan of the DS attachment, and I would just recommend getting a Thor if you're planning on going dual screen mode. The Thor is just it's just such a better experience. The DS is very hacky. The dual screen attachment. It also has an enormous USB-C cable and it blocks like the volume buttons. It's and it only works on Retroid devices. It's very weird, even though they promised that it would work on other ones, and they sold attachments for it to connect to other devices, and then after selling all of them, they told people that it only works on Retroid, which is again just very on brand for Retroid to just dunk on their consumers. Pretty crazy. MMJ stands for Multi Mama Jamma. Yeah, that's what I've always said, man. You took the words right out of my mouth. I always get the MMJ. Hey, 2 peas in a pod right here. The attachment just felt a bit wrong to me. Agree. Couldn't have put it better myself. It just felt wrong. It just So usually I actually keep it with my Retroid Pocket 4 Pro, just because I think that attaching those two really sums up the attachment to me. Just the absurdity of the attachment in general. Just putting it on a Retroid Pocket 4 Pro just really sums it up. So I like to keep them just together. I feel like they're two weird twins. Anyways, this is running a lot smoother, as you can tell now. Less frame hitching and stuttering. Like I was saying, after a few minutes of gameplay, then there's usually only like a small hitch when you enter a new area. Like this, like when you're entering kind of like a more watery area that hasn't loaded in the shaders yet. And once it has those shaders, then it's pretty smooth. And if you want it to be even smoother, then you can drop the resolution down a little bit. But usually you'll get those kind of stutters no matter what resolution you're at, because the shaders need to compile. That's just a 3DS emulation right now. That's just kind of how it works. And it really comes down to just kind of like processing power. So the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 and the Retroid Pocket 6 would probably be able to... Would it actually just be able to run this at 4 times resolution with a little less stutter? Because I was testing out games on the Iron Thor, which has the same processor, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, and we were running those at 4 times resolution. Meanwhile, the G2, we're running it at 3 times resolution, and it still looks pretty great. Very crisp. Yeah, a pretty fun game. Link Between Worlds. Let's hop in here, and then we'll check out a different game. Whoa, big dog. Potion seller, I'd like your wares. That thing's $30. What is it? Give it to me. Foul fruit? Oh no. What is it? Is it a bomb? Scoot fruit? Oh brother. That's not a pie, that's a bomb. Made at a bomb factory. Alright, well I got a shield now. That's pretty tight. Came up on a shield, that's an easy dub right there. I don't know, when did I save? Oh, I need to go find a save point. Alright, save, we gotta find a save point. Also, I hope you all are having a good time. Hope you all are enjoying the stream. And if you're checking out the VOD, thank you for checking out the VOD. Hope you're having a good time hanging out, checking out the G2, the Retroid G2 with me. It's a pretty cool device. I think the timing of its release is a little unfortunate, you know. It's kind of going to be living in the shadow of the Pocket 6. But as a Pocket 5 Plus, I think it's pretty pog. Now let's check out some Animal Crossing New Leaf. How does PSP God of War run? Scaling? Probably, I haven't checked it out yet, but I would assume that we could run that at like 4 or 5 times resolution, no problem. Maybe even higher. Because I was running it on the Megami Air X at what was it, 2 times resolution? And that's a significantly less powerful chipset. So I'd imagine that you could run that at 1080p. I might have it on here, I don't know. I put my Retroid Pocket 5 SD card in here. So that I have whatever games I had on the Pocket 5. Because to me, the G2 is just kind of a Pocket 5 replacement. It's a Pocket 5 Plus. Calling it a G2 it's just kind of weird. It kind of makes it feel like a whole entirely new device, but it's really just a Pocket 5 Plus. How does it run? Big money? No whammies? I don't know. Speaking big money? I ain't speaking your language. Alright. It's go time. It's go time. Been streaming for a little over 2 hours. It's 1:40 a.m. Night shift. Sound off. Sound off in the chat. Clocking in, all y'all clocking in for the night shift. What do we got? All right. My dear Slime Star. All right. Understood. Can I put it away? So if you're just tuning in, that staticky sound is just a bad audio cable. So you might hear. Oh no! How did I not outrun that? Oh man, I gotta get my cardio up. That's crazy. That's crazy. I couldn't outrun the bees. Let me boost up this brightness. It's looking a little dark. So we're running Animal Crossing at 3 times resolution. And this is the 3DS Animal Crossing New Leaf. I think I have HD textures. Can't confirm that they loaded in properly. So TBD on that, but I did try to install HD textures. I don't know if they carried over. Because I was doing like a lot of just kind of transferring around between my Thor and my Pocket 5 and the G2. But I would highly recommend checking out like the HD texture packs for all of these 3DS games. They really make them pop and look pretty gorgeous. Oh, I should just get a load of this guy. Absolute doofus. Who let this doofus become mayor? Mayor Slime Star over here. Just sliming up this joint. What's that? Flow? Oh no, Flow from Progressive. Don't worry about it, Fang. Oh man, way to rub it in, dude. Yo, eat a dick, little bro. I'm sorry. I ain't got time to talk with your ass, man. You just I just came to chit chat. Friggin' put me through the ringer. That's crazy. Have I heard anything about the iNeo Pocket Vert? Yes, I have. In fact, I talked about it briefly with Too Loud on the Safe State podcast, and you know, Jedi and those guys over there when it was first announced. But yeah, I saw the specs. Still waiting on a price tag. I'm assuming. My guess is still the same as when it was first announced. I'm thinking it'll be like, you know, $299, something like that. Just way too expensive because it's a luxury product. And when it comes to luxury products, whether it's in gaming or in any, you know, in any consumer product world, luxury products are always more expensive because they're objectively just going to sell less. So it's just like part of the deal is they're going to be more expensive because they're going to sell less. And because they're going to sell less, it's more expensive. So that's just, iNeo just works in very mysterious ways, especially because they like launched their budget brand and then they released the iNeo Pocket Air Mini for like $79 under iNeo instead of their budget brand. Very confusing. I really don't understand why they did that, and then now they're releasing their like a super premium kind of analog pocket competitor under iNeo after releasing a budget one under iNeo, and then they got the Conquer Pocket Fit, which is supposed to be a budget brand under the Conquer brand, but it's not a budget handheld. Man, like I said, they work in mysterious ways. The inner machinations of iNeo's brain are an enigma. Money, mad money. Couldn't have said it better myself, Chicken Nugget. Man, I'm an Animal Crossing demon. I love just running around and shaking trees. You know, this is what I do in my free time too. IRL. I run around, I slip and fall on my face, and I shake trees until money falls out. What do you mean? It's a coin. Man. My guy ain't got that. My guy ain't got that the big money mindset. He's got small money mindset. You gotta find that. You gotta find a place to put the bread, little bro. If you can't put a coin in your pocket, how you expect to put a 401k on your mama's house? You know, something like that. Anyways. Oh, I gotta fill that hole. This chip play Vita? I would assume so. Yeah, it's probably. I didn't get a chance to set up Vita, just because Vita emulation has kind of been like a bit of a pain in terms of like, you know, ROMs and stuff like that. I don't know, it's just like unnecessarily convoluted and confusing. Like, I wish it was just easier to set up, but there's like package files and VPKs, and some are better than others, and you need like license files for certain ones. So yeah, I don't know. I never really got around to setting up Vita on here. I got it running on the RG556 a while ago and played Borderlands 2 on there just because it ran as opposed to the Switch version of Borderlands 2, which doesn't run. Let's check out Metroid Samus Returns. And I have a 60 FPS cheat enabled on here too. So this one's going to be a little tricky to run just because the bottom screen has your health bar on it. So from that standpoint, we'll probably want to do a custom layout and then do something like this, where we do big screen up here, and then maybe we do big screen like this, and then small screen like this. I just gotta find that line there. Something like that. It's not the prettiest, but it's tactical. And so this is for dual screen games. You should either get a dual screen add-on, where you can see both screens at the same time, or you'll have to do some do two screen at the same time type maneuvers, not like this, just getting a little quirky on it. Let's clean up the screen in the meantime. Boom. Boom. Man, that little piece of dust does not want to move. The thing should have been called the Conquer Pocket Air instead. Exactly. Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. It should have been called the Conquer Pocket Air 2, so that they could establish the Conquer brand, and differentiate Ioneo as the premium brand and Conquer as the budget brand. But instead, they're muddying the waters for both of them by making the Conquer Pocket Fit a little more expensive and the Ioneo cheap and then expensive. It's just like, what are they doing? They're just kind of like, I guess they're just creating two entirely separate brands that don't really have much differentiation from each other. Okay, so this looks pretty great at 60 FPS mod. You might not be able to see it because I'm streaming at, I think, 30 FPS. I gotta upgrade my whole streaming setup. I don't think my computer can handle 4K 60 streaming. But yeah, it's running very smoothly. Let me brighten this up a little bit now that we're in the dojo. This is one thing that's fantastic about emulation, is just being able to run things at higher FPSs and higher resolutions too. And this game looks fantastic on the on this OLED screen. It looks so good. To be honest, I do prefer the AM2R, another Metroid 2 remake, as opposed to Samus Returns, because this is a remake of the Game Boy game Metroid 2, which is on the original Game Boy, not the Game Boy Color. So it was a very, very old school, but still a pretty fun game. I played it for my Metroid Fusion video. I checked out all the previous Metroid games that came before it and just recorded gameplay for each one. Pretty cool. Metroid 1 is crazy amounts of lag. If you think lagging in games is a new phenomenon with Nintendo and Pokemon, you'd be dead wrong. Metroid was lagging off the rip whenever there'd be more than like 3 enemies on screen. Metroid for the NES was on its knees. What's up here? I feel like, nope. Oh no. Whoa. So one thing that's kind of a bummer about Citra MMJ, this 3DS emulator, as opposed to Azahar. So while the performance might be better in Citra MMJ, there's no save states as of right now in Citra MMJ. So that means that you have to save the old-fashioned way, like our ancestors, like our great ancestors. You have to save in-game. You can't use save states. Maybe at one point they'll update Citra MMJ to include save states. But for right now, You can only get those in Azahar, and the performance of Azahar is just like I'd say it's a tier below Citra MMJ in a lot of games. Sorry for the sniffling. If you just joined, I have a cold, and I have a sore throat too, so I might consume a lozenge. Anyways, yeah, this is how I sound when I got a cold. I just sound a lot cooler for some reason. It's just a little quirk about me, you know. Zurtaro, why didn't Retroid make a black handle for the Mini V2? Only transparent ones are available. Because Retroid works in mysterious ways, man. Oh man, that's so goofy that they only made a transparent grip and then only released the fact that they only released the Mini V2 in black continues to frustrate me, because that handheld was like awesome, but they only released it in one color. It was crazy. They had an opportunity to just like make a couple different shells, but I guess they ran the numbers, and the numbers said nah. The numbers said just make it black. Vegan Pop-Tart, you might hold off for the Soldier Boy. Crank that G2. Yo, crank that Yule, brother. Crank that G2. And then you hear the don't. Retroid boy up in the, oh, watch me crank down, watch me roll. Watch me get sued by Retroid now as Superman. Oh, now watch me sue. Get sued by Nintendo. Watch me sue. My website gets redirected to Nintendo's website. Man, the Soldier Boy Flip game console 2. Crazy. That's an entrepreneur right there, you know? That's what entrepreneurship looks like. You may not like it, but it's peak entrepreneurship. So again, we're running this at 3 times resolution. This is Metroid Samus Returns for the 3DS and Citra MMJ. And 3 times resolution is about 720p. So we're more or less running it at 720p. Still looks pretty great. We have to play with the 2 screens on one. Just given the, why did they make wall jumping so easy in this game? I'm so used to like zero mission infusion. This is specifically timed. Am I becoming a Metroid sweat? I've been playing a lot of Metroid ROM hacks, to be honest. Like a lot of Metroid ROM hacks. Been playing Metroid Fusion Randomizer. I played through Metroid Desolation. I think I ended up getting like 80 or something percent item completion. I don't know. I gotta double check. I will not be playing through Metroid Desolation again anytime soon. That game almost broke me, to be frank. It is the most non-linear Metroid ROM hack I've ever played. Alright, let's beat this boss and then check out another game. Maybe we'll do like Mario Kart for the 3DS. Save. Alright, it's go time. Ka-chow. Alright, where do I go? Where do I go? Save. Because there's no save states. Try getting there. Alright, here we go. Boss time. Need for Speed Underground 2 on the PS2 and the G2. Yeah, that'd be rad. That's a great game. Oh man, I gotta learn this boss pattern. Oh brother, I'm flubbing it. Give me that DNA. Nice. So I have the swap screen map to my right analog stick button. Just a little pro tip. I used to have it mapped to my left stick and then I would accidentally click it a lot. So I mapped it to the right stick. Just to make sure I never accidentally clicked it. Alright, now that we saved, we can quit and check out a little bit of Kirby Planet Robobot. This is a game that might be a lot harder to run. I've noticed that this is a game that's pretty challenging to run on certain handhelds. So let's do single screen. And what battery percentage are we at? 26%. Nice. Story mode. So this one we're running at 3 times resolution, and we might need to actually drop it down. We'll see once we get into the level, but I have a sneaky suspicion that we'll need to knock it down a little bit. Surprisingly tough game to run. And you'll notice that there's going to be a difference between shader stuttering, like shader compilation, and if it's just like permanently unplayable. Alright, let's go, Kirby. Pick it up a notch. Let's go. I gotta play the Kirby for the Switch, the Kirby Forgotten Land one. I gotta check that game out. Looks really fun. Alright, so far so decent, you know. Pretty standard shader compilation for the first couple minutes. If it keeps going like this, then that's an easy downscale. So we're running this at 720p. And if it ain't gonna smooth out, then we'll drop it down a little bit. Oh yeah, sticker man. So it's starting to smooth out a little bit, and you're not seeing whenever that yellow pops up in the top left. That's probably when it also kind of stutters a little bit. That's the shader compilation. Sorry, it's a little bit bright. I'll turn that down a little bit. This is just a bright game. Can't the shaders be pre-cached? Maybe. Let me check. Asynchronous. Async just caches them asynchronously. There might be a pre-cache thing. I don't know. I'll check it out after this. Let's get a little deeper into this level. That'd be pretty sweet. Actually, let's see if there's a setting to do that. I don't know much about 3DS emulation. So we have show FPS, enable hardware shader, accurate multiplication shader type, normal shader with cache. That's what we want for sure. Custom textures, enable memory reuse, maybe, but that might lead to display issues. Enable CPU usage. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's an option in that settings, or at least in Citra MMJ. Might be something in Azahar, but I can't say for sure. In the meantime, let's play a little bit of Pokemon X. This is another game that we'll probably have to run with the custom layout. Who you calling M Meister? Oh yeah, I got the sniffles. Tactical nose blow. Tactical lozenge. If you're just joining, I have a cold. It's a tactical cold. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm powered up. Lozenge acquired. Don't worry, it's Ricola. Oh no. Oh no, please don't be high level. Alright. Let me do do a little more balanced here. Yeah, this is definitely not ideal to play 3DS games on here. Dual screen games. I would definitely recommend something like the Iron Thor to play 3DS instead. I would not recommend the RGDS from Ambernick to play 3DS games. You might get like 3 3DS games to run on there. And they'll all be two-dimensional ones, not anything actually like heavy hitters like Pokemon. But from a performance standpoint, I mean, 3DS runs pretty fantastic on here. 3 times resolution. Pretty consistently. Even Kirby wasn't too bad. I think it probably would have been fine after a couple more minutes of gameplay. Oh, I should have used Ember. Could send Low Bro to the Shadow Realm. 1-2. See you never. I'm curious if there's a way to pre-cache shaders in order to you know, run these games even smoother. It'd be pretty sweet. Might be a feature in Azahar. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that glitchiness on the enemy close up there. See you later, youngster. See you in the Shadow Realm, little bro. Catch you later. Oh. Heal my Pokemon. Alright, and I will save. And we'll, hop on out of here. Alright, what else we got? Alright, we ain't got no Mario Kart. Let's check out a little bit of Gamecube. Let's do a little bit of Paper Mario. And we gotta run this. We gotta run it at let's go Dolphin. And then let me set this to run at enhancements, internal resolution. Let's do 3 times native. And let's see how Paper Mario runs. Turn off dual core setting. All right, let's do that. Let's turn off dual core. Whoa. What's going on here? That was weird. All right, let's go graphic settings. How do we turn off dual core? Is that going to be hacks? Tactical nose wipe. Yeah, I don't know what that was all about. Kind of weird. Suspicious. Guess we'll just ignore for now. And if it breaks, then we'll know that. We'll know why, maybe. Oh, I gotta map my controls. What am I doing? Sorry, amateur streamer here. Amateur streamer. Streaming amateurly. Alright, how do I quick map? Quick map. A, B, X, Y. Z. Start. Is the control stick the okay, yeah. Definitely not confusing to call the control stick and the C stick. Both C, even though it is camera stick. And then D-pad. So this is just kind of your classic what you got to do to set up emulators. It's it never gets any less fun because it's always so much fun to just set up emulators. Always connected. All right, Paper Mario. It's pronounced Mario. Zertero. Normally the engine knows which shaders are required. Yeah. Should not be a problem to implement this option. Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how active the Citra MMJ developers are, but that would be pretty sweet to just pre-cast shaders, just like you can do in Dolphin. Which, speaking of, I should enable that. It's usually caused by the emulated GPU. Turn off the dual core setting. All right, let me go do that. Let me see if I can noodle around and just figure that out. Brother, ignore. All right. This is really buggy so far. It's very strange. All right, where's this dual core? Okay, yeah. Disable dual core. Enable cheats. And then enable save states. What else we got to do here? And then we also have to shader compilation mode. What's the good one? It's like hybrid Uber shaders or something like that. Uncompile shaders before start. I don't know. I might be wrong with that one. I might be wrong if hybrid Uber shaders are bad or good, but I don't know. It sounds pretty sick. sounds cool. So we'll probably stream for another like 15 or 20 minutes, and then ramp it on up. What's going on here? It's like crashing, but it's not. Failed to link shaders. All right, I'm gonna turn off those hybrid Uber shaders. I feel like the Uber's not the move. It's really not like in Uber shaders. Specialized. All right. See, did we make the Dolphin gods happy? Have we appeased the Dolphin gods? So what up, all 11 of you? Hope you're having a good time. Sorry for noodling around live on stream, but this is just the reality of emulation handheld sometimes. is you're just gonna be noodling around a little bit. And I'm glad to noodle around with you all here. Oh, I forgot to transfer my save. Womp womp. Holy moly, that's an aggressive soundtrack. Alright, here we go. What's the word? You already know. Slime Star. If Mario's name ain't Slime Star, then I'll be damned. Let's put stats. There we go. Alright, that frame time. The frame time's unnecessary. I'll turn that off. Sorry for my grimy thumbs, by the way. I rock climb in my free time, and I'm also and I also do occasionally work with my hands. So these thumbs will never quite be. My thumbs look like these, so Mario's can look like those. This is what I say. Alright, skip. So we got a little widescreen patch going on here. It's clearly not perfect. I could probably find like a better widescreen gecko code. And you can tell like there's a little bit of hackiness with the widescreen hacks. But yeah, this is kind of just more about performance in general. I'm just checking out this device, the G2. Whoa. Struggling with that white background. Yes. Alright, you gonna stay focused now? Camera was going buck wild for a second there. Whoa. Yeah. Classic widescreen patch. Looking crazy. Alright, it's go time. Let me off your damn ship. Your ship weird, bro. Oh! Man just tore a rift in the dimension and our FPS in that moment. Hello. Greetings, brother. Please save my progress. So if performance is ever like a little rough for you in any game, try switching the emulator graphic backend from OpenGL to Vulkan or vice versa. Right now we're running this in OpenGL and it might not be ideal. I don't know. But so far it seems to be running at 60 at 1080p, so I'm pretty happy with it. If it does get a little crunchy, I might try Vulkan. But so far it seems pretty solid. Alright, go time. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot about this widescreen patch is it doesn't line up the battles properly. So you'll see the finger doesn't point above his head, it points in front of him for some reason. So I might try and find like an actual gecko code, which is like a specific patch. And that'll probably be a little more ideal for this. Or you could just run it at its native resolution and not try and go super hacky style. Yeah, it's kind of weird we're getting that letterboxing on the sides. But from a performance standpoint, I mean, even with all these enemies on screen, I know it's it's kind of pre-rendered a little bit, but not necessarily pre-rendered, but you know what I mean. They're still just going ham over there. So yeah, Gamecube seems to be running pretty solid. 3x resolution. You don't need to go above 3x resolution because this is 1080p and the screen is 1080p. Oh snap! Mario got a little shorty. But my heart is with Princess Peach. Oh, I love these guys back here. The Mario's Sunshine Boys. Just absolutely bullying people. Stay down, bro. The boss sent his greetings. Crazy. Alright. Let me save. We're gonna go check out another game. Let me see if I have, I don't know if I have Better Wind Waker on here. But I might. I might have Better Wind Waker. But I do want to check it out, either way. Man, this is cutscenes were long back in the day, huh? This is really just lore building. Get me to that save point. And quick save. And then quick sneeze. Oh. Alright. Let's check out a little Wind Waker. Make sure we got it with the right settings. Yep, no dual core. Video backend. We'll find out if that works or not. OpenGL. All that jazz. Vegan Pop-Tart, bless you. Thank you. Thank you. I needed that. I needed that right now, bro. Alright, so widescreen's well, that screen ain't native on that one. I need to load my widescreen Wind Waker patch on here. I have like a patched ROM that's widescreen natively, but in the meantime, let's see if there's a cheat for it. Widescreen cheat. Give me that. And then whoops. All right, let's hop back in. For some reason, it's not going full widescreen. I don't know what's going on with Dolphin. Not doing that. All right, a little crunchy off the rip. Let's see. Oh no, I don't have my save in here. Oh, all right. Well, we'll check out the first zone. Just kind of run around real quick. Let's see how things look. Man, I am unprepared for this one. Really cobbled this stream together. Hope y'all are enjoying it. The G2 life, you know? The Retroid banana. I present to you the Retroid banana cream. The yellow, the white. Man, I could really go for like a, you know, one like a banana cream multi-layer cake kind of thing, you know, with some Nilla wafers or something. You feel me? Just something I've been thinking about. Vegan Pop-Tart, thanks for hanging out with me. Good night. Sweet dreams. Sweet dreams? I wish you sweet dreams. And from my sweet dreams, bless you in your slumber. Farewell. Man, non-skippable cutscenes, right? Am I right? Crazy. Crazy. And what a time to be alive. Come on. Skip. Well, in the meantime, I can get a little familiar with these controls. Pretty much the exact same as the Retroid Pocket 5. There's like no difference in how the buttons feel, how anything feels. They're all pretty much identical for the Pocket 5. The sticks I've noticed are a bit slippery. They're like very soft and don't have much texture to them. You can kind of see, like, as my thumb kind of goes around, you see how it's sliding a little bit? Like, you're seeing a lot of that analog stick. Because there's not much grip. There's not much grip holding my thumb to it. So my thumb just kind of, like, slow motion here. So my thumb just kind of slides around it. Yeah, there's not much grip. And that's the same with the Retroid Pocket 5, which is why I actually keep... I tend to use thumbstick caps that have grip to them. Because look at my thumb, how it's not moving at all. It's pretty much locked in. As opposed to here, where it's kind of slipping around. Yeah, it's all about preference, but I do prefer kind of grippier, that Gorilla Grip thumbstick. You feel me? You know, it's just that having a little bit of grip, kind of like the Retroid Pocket Flip 2 and the AY and Thor, have like a little bit of a ribbed outer edge. And just a very ergonomic thumbstick design. These ones are divoted inwards and a little bit smooth. A lot of it smooth, actually. Thumb just kind of glides over it. Might look a little bit overexposed on stream. I'm just trying to, like, you know, this is how the lighting do be sometimes. That's how that studio lighting goes. So yeah, we're running this with a widescreen hack. This is Zelda Wind Waker for the Gamecube. We're running at 3x resolution, 1080p, in Dolphin. Just the regular Dolphin emulator. This art style looks fantastic, upscaled too. Looks so good. And with that widescreen patch, kind of hacky widescreen thing, some things might pop in and out, because they're not meant to be rendered on the outsides. But I still find it pretty nice to have. And for some reason, it's not filling out the entire widescreen, like the entire screen. So I might have to look into that and kind of noodle around with some settings, figure that out, but it still looks pretty great. literally me IRL. That's how I'm moving. Man, this is a new record for longest intro to a goddamn game. Not actually, but this is very long. All right, now we can run around. Oh no, I forgot to... Okay, yeah, because we're not running the Better Wind Waker patch, the camera stick is inverted and it's very sensitive. You look, just a little bit of movement on the stick is like a ton in game. Well, either way, we can at least check out like how the and it's inverted too, but we can check out how the performance is and just how everything looks on this G2. It's gonna look pretty much identical to the Retroid Pocket 5 outside of the performance, but the performance is pretty fantastic. It's just a Retroid Pocket 5 Plus. Like I don't think calling it the G2, like the G2 is just a confusing name. While it does, it is a valid name because of the G2 chipset in it. But I think something like calling it the Retroid Pocket 5 Plus would have made more sense because that's pretty much all it is. There's nothing else new about it outside of the chipset. A little bit faster RAM too, I think, but and maybe improved Wi-Fi, but I can't say for sure. I think the Wi-Fi is a little improved. But again, all of those things should just fall under like a Retroid Pocket 5 Nomer. If that is like the right word for it. Give me my money. This looks great though. It's performing pretty great too. 30 FPS locked. There's probably a 60 FPS patch for this game. There must be some kind of 60 FPS thing. Can't say for sure though. All I can say is that looks sick. You gotta show me how to do that. And again, we're running this at 3 times resolution, which is 1080p. So this is as high resolution as we need to go. Anything above this would be beyond what the screen can actually do. So you don't need to do anything more. From this point on, you can just maybe mess around with like seeing if there's a 60 FPS patch, or you can even do Better Wind Waker mod, which is what I usually actually do. I just don't have it loaded on this SD card. The Better Wind Waker patch mod is just makes this game so much better. Really modernizes a lot of elements of it. Howdy. Let me in your boat. I wanna buy your things. What you got for sale? You have any bombs? Hey bro, you have any bombs?
Bye.
I would like to buy your bombs. For no particular reason, I need to save a princess. Alright, so that's Wind Waker with a widescreen patch on. Just very, very simple widescreen patch, nothing crazy. Looked pretty good, played pretty perfectly. Nothing out of the ordinary. Now let's hop over and check out maybe a PS2 game, and then we'll wrap up stream. See what we got. Maybe we do what should we do? Little God of War 2? Let's do that. And that front end that I was using is a console launcher. It's a really elegant front end. Kind of has like some Nintendo and Wii kind of vibes to it. I really like it. All right, let's do upscale to... Let's try 2.5x native and see how that runs. What else should we do? Save state on shutdown probably. And then show FPS. Anything else that we got to do? I already mapped my controls. We can change the GPU render if it's bugging out. Oh yeah, let me turn off the on-screen controls. And that staticky is just a bad audio cable. I need to figure out how to fix that. It's like my camera makes the staticky sound. It's a little weird. So it's not actually like a problem with the handheld itself. All right, touchscreen. Turn them off. Overlay opacity. Punch that down to 0. Boom, boom. 1, 2. What are we at? 18% battery. Pretty solid. All right. It's go time. Oh, let me scale up that that corner thingy. The statistics in the corner. So I think that's OSD scale. That will be in system. Nope. I think it's below all this OSD scale. So usually I think 250 is readable on camera. This is just going to scale up that FPS reader in the top right so that you guys can actually see what kind of FPS we're getting. Let's put that up to 250. Hopefully it's not too aggressive. All right, that's a little aggressive. I'm gonna lower it to 200 and then we'll actually play the game. Let's go to Hondo. Enough edging God of War 2. Edge of War. All right, is there a widescreen? Why did not widescreen it? Is there a widescreen mode or am I geeking? Hello? Let's go widescreen. All right, there we go. Man, that's how we want to look. That's just nice and stretched out.
By defeating Ares, Kratos, the once mortal warrior, became the new god of war. However,
Look at this guy.
Kratos soon found himself
Absolute
alone on Olympus,
alpha,
shunned by his
mugging,
fellow gods.
mewing.
But Kratos had no need for the love of petty gods. He had found a new family in the warriors of Sparta.
Oh yeah, in this game he becomes enormous for some reason. He's like goes Godzilla mode or something.
My lord, Kratos! Another city is ready to fall! Soon all shall know the glory of Sparta!
Enough, Kratos! With every city you destroy, the wrath of Olympus grows. Soon I will no longer be able to protect you.
Watch. Boom, out the way.
Do not forget that it was I
Ka-chow.
who made you a god, ghost of Sparta. Do not turn your back on me.
I owe you nothing.
Then you leave me no choice.
Kratos had turned the pain of his memories into hatred.
So now he's gonna
Hatred
become
for the gods
supersized
who had refused to free him from the nightmares of his past deeds.
and then
so
pay the
he
price,
went
pay
to
the
Rome
ultimate
to
price.
deliver the final blow to the besieged city.
Look at that. Big Kratos. Smash and grab.
You conspire against me?
You conspire against me? That's cold. Man, I'm really picking the games with the world's longest cutscenes, huh? Guess that's just how it be sometimes. Oh, now he's normal size. Oh no. Oh, off the bat, pretty great. 2.5x. This is 1080p, 2.5x resolution, and we're getting a locked 60. Very slightly below, but man, this is like perfect. Holy smokes. Okay, this is great. I honestly haven't tested too much PS2 on the Retroid Pocket 5, so I don't know how this compares to that, but I honestly at this point, even comparing the two handhelds, kind of feels not necessarily unnecessary, but the G2 is just the Retroid Pocket 5 Plus. It's just better in processing. Like, so when it comes to how much better, it's not as much better as the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, which is in the Retroid Pocket 6, but it is still a considerable upgrade. On paper, I think it's twice as good. It's twice as powerful. But I would say practically, I don't think it's twice as powerful when it comes to actual like game performance. It's just considerably more powerful. Like it can run Gamehub, Switch, a lot better. You're not gonna get double the frame rate and everything. Yeah, this is crushing it. Whoa. Excuse the sniffling. I'm a little sick. Alright, let's go time, go time. Get me up the ladder. Oh, there's smokes. Is that big old Titan just hucking people? What's Big Bro doing? Alright, I think we got the idea here. God of War 2 runs fantastic to 2.5 times resolution, 1080p. PS2 games should be running pretty much very, very well. 1080p. Yeah, you'll have no problem running PS2. Gamecube should run pretty well at 3 times resolution, 1080p. Some Switch games. We checked out some Diablo 2, checked out some Super Mario Odyssey, Tears of the Kingdom, Zelda Crazy Breath. Then we also checked out some Gamehub Lite, Valheim, Silksong, Fallout New Vegas, and Master Chief Collection. Pretty rad games. Little 3DS too. I don't know what's going on there. It's mad. It threw the wrong games in the 3DS folder, but yeah, it can run some 3DS games too. The G2 is a pretty solid device overall. I've been pretty impressed with it. You know, it feels like a Retroid Pocket 5 Plus. It's just a nice, solid upgrade on an already pretty solid all-around handheld. So, with that said, producer, kick it to the front camera. Oh snap! Our agenda's still up. Been streaming for almost 3.5 hours, and I've enjoyed every second of it. But all things must come to an end. Good or bad. Whether the stream was good or bad, it needs to end. Or does it? We can still more in me. It's 2:40 a.m. We can stream till 2:40 p.m. You just say the word. Chat go crazy, chat go stupid. One's in the chat. Subathon, streamathon. Anyways. Retroid Pocket G2. Pretty solid. Pretty solid handheld overall. Basically just a Retroid Pocket 5 Plus. It's a nice improvement on the Retroid Pocket 5. It does pretty much everything, including the controls, whether you like the controls or whether you like the Retroid Pocket 5 or not. The Retroid G2 is just all of that with a more powerful processor. A little faster internet, I think. I think the Wi-Fi is faster. I don't know. But I know that the RAM is a smidgen faster. Everything else is the same. So, my thoughts on it. I think that the processing power and the improvement in that department is is much appreciated. And from that perspective, I will never say no to more performance. However, in the broader scheme, why did they announce it at the same time as the Retroid Pocket 6? What are you doing, Retroid? They announced the G2 and then they announced the 6, and they just mixed the pot. They just mixed them all together. So if you don't immediately need a new handheld, I'd probably hold out and maybe pre-order the Pocket 6 with that Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor, with the improved display, with the D-pad on top if you want that. You can also get the analog stick on top, or vice versa. And then you also get just more internal storage or RAM. There's just so many improvements with the Retroid Pocket 6 that just make the G2 a confusing offering, because they were announced at the same time. If the G2 came like 6 months ago, I would have been screaming, because this thing is just a better Pocket 5. It's a great handheld. So objectively, this is a great handheld, and it comes in fun colors too. But Pocket 6 is on the way, and we also have the Odin 3, and we also have the AYN Thor. So we got a lot of handhelds and a finite amount of time and money. So what you choose to spend those on, who am I to judge? I'm just a pair of hands and a sick nostril, a sick pair of nostrils. So with that said, thanks for hanging with me. Zertero in the chat, go crazy, go stupid. And thank you all for sticking around, lurking, and watching the VOD too. I appreciate you all, and I had a lovely time, and I hope you did too. So with that said, farewell. I'm going to disappear into the ether now. So my ethereal existence will vanish until the next stream. I'm Montotech, and as always, thanks for watching. Later!